evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Lake Central High School as the Region Sports Network presents live video coverage of Indiana high school football as the visiting Merrillville Pirates take on the host Lake Central Indians. I'm Leo Staudaher, and I'll have the play-by-play for all of tonight's action. And joining me with the color analysis of tonight's game is Chris Figg. Good evening, Chris. It's senior night at Lake Central. We're getting to that point mid-October, the end of the season, and we have another Duneland Conference matchup between these two rivals.
Good evening, Leo, and you're right. It's going to be a great matchup tonight. You got Friday night lights in full effect, sun setting around 6:30 now. Lights are shining bright. It's a dark night out here tonight. And, you know, these kids are definitely excited. It's senior night. It's your last home game, last chance to really show out in front of your home crowd without them having to travel. So, you know, it's a big night for these seniors, and a lot of emotions can come with that. But also, you know, just a fun night to be out here. Nice little breeze. I think it was 70 degrees coming in, if I'm not mistaken, so it feels pretty great outside.
So we have the Merrillville Pirates 5-2 on the season, number 2 in our RSN poll. They're 4-1 in DAC play. They're 2-1 on the road. They've scored 250 points while allowing just 121. They've won their last 4. While on the other end of the field, the Lake Central Indians 2-5 on the year, 1-4 in Duneland play. They are 1-2 on their home field. They've scored 117 points while allowing 191. They are trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. So these are the type of matchups at the end of the year. Lake Central trying to provide spoiler. Merrillville trying to keep things rolling as they've been firing on all cylinders lately.
Yeah, and I mean, Merrillville's definitely been on all cylinders. You know, we kind of talked about it before the show started last year. I believe they had 2 1,000-yard rushers, if I'm not mistaken, had a really great run game. This year they kind of flipped the script. They're throwing the ball a lot. Their quarterback's been the leading passer in the region this year. I know he's over 2,000 yards on the season. It's really going to be a tale of two tales with these offenses. You got one offense that loves to throw the ball, and you got one that's only thrown for 900 yards this season. So, I mean, that's a huge difference in offensive strategy. You're going to see a lot of run-heavy stuff from this Lake Central team. Leading rusher is the quarterback starting tonight as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they rely on more quarterback design runs or if they go kind of to a read option on Lake Central side.
So we are getting closer to kickoff here at Lake Central. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll start to preview the personnel of each side. First with the visiting Pirates of Merrillville. So stick around. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Macknick. I'm the owner of Mark Macknick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. You know, mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. You know, we're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. Yeah, I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Macknick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, "Wow, this is awesome." It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. You know, it's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland, and ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports, mainly because I get a lot of feedback, you know, especially on the high school level. A lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
Back at Lake Central High School, so let's take a look at the Merrillville Pirates. This is a team whose offense has been lighting up the scoreboards all over the region this year, led by their junior quarterback Michael Hill. And Chris, you alluded to it in the open. This is a team that was run heavy last year, but has really changed the dynamics of their offense, and Hill's been a big reason why.
Yeah, I mean, Hill has got over 2,000 yards passing. It's 2,069 yards passing on the season, 67% completion rate, averaging about 13.8 yards a throw, but also averaging 295 yards a game as far as throwing the ball goes. He's also got 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, so you're looking at a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Pretty good on the season. And as you said, he's a junior. I mean, that's some incredible numbers to be putting up in high school in a 9-game season. You're averaging almost 300 yards. But then also, on the flip side, you know, they've got a pretty good running attack, too. If you look at the stats, Leo, they've got 1,300 yards rushing on the season. So it's a very balanced offensive scheme. You know, they can run the ball, but they can also throw the ball. And what makes that so beneficial for them is I was able to witness it a couple weeks ago. Their play-action game's really good because sometimes you don't know if they're actually going to hand off the ball to their speedsters in the backfield.
And so one of the big reasons for that change, too, they took Cameron Jordan, one of those 1,000-yard rushers from last year, and used him in the receiving game. So he's another dynamic player, and this is a Merrillville offense where you really have to be careful because they have a lot of different players that could contribute with those big runs, those big receptions, and put the ball in the end zone. So this is just a dynamic offense, and their defense has been really making it difficult for opposing quarterbacks to have time in the pocket and to work downfield. This is a experienced defense for the Pirates as well.
Yeah, definitely a very experienced defense. You've got some good leadership in your senior Moore, who's got 33 tackles on the season through 7 games, and that's 33 solo tackles. As a defensive lineman, that's a really great stat to have. If you're making a lot of solo tackles as a defensive lineman, 1, it's either a tackle for a loss or a sack. 2, you're stopping the guy at the line of scrimmage. You're preventing him from getting to that second level and really putting your linebacker or a safety in a position you really don't want them in.
We've seen Warren Brown, too, in the secondary. Warren Brown and Greg Hughes, those two safeties, doing a good job patrolling things. This is Merrillville defense that has forced a lot of turnovers, too, so they've been solid on both sides of the ball, and that's how they've gotten that 5-2 record as it stands right now. And now we'll see the Lake Central Indians take the field here on senior night in front of a rowdy crowd here in St. John, and it's a team that's looking to try to play their last home game of the season and pick up a big conference win.
Yeah, definitely want to pick up a big conference win, and especially, you know, we also talked about it. Selection Saturday is coming up. Playoffs are 2 weeks away, so you really want to start building that momentum, not only for conference play and to send your seniors out on a good note, but also you want to build that momentum going into the playoffs. Because until Selection Saturday, you don't know who you're playing. You don't know if you're playing a team that's undefeated or if it's a team that, you know, is in the same situation as you as far as the season goes. So it's kind of like just carry that momentum in because you don't know who your next opponent's going to be in 2 weeks.
So the Indians have taken the field. The national anthem's about to begin. So we will continue to get ready for kickoff here at Lake Central. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantail.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
And following the completion of the anthem, let's get to meet the starters from Lake Central. They've been led by their senior quarterback, Cameron Reddick. He's one of those dual-threat quarterbacks where he can get a lot of plays done, extend plays on the ground, and try to set up these receivers. Second year with head coach Pete Kulianis. So this is a Lake Central team that's trying to establish their identity, and they'll be turning to the senior quarterback tonight.
Yeah, definitely trying to establish an identity. Don't really have as much of a passing game. However, big thing that stands out to me, total yards in the season, they're at 2292, 964 passing. Looking at 6 passing touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns as well. But a big stat for me is they're only allowing opponents on the season about 1,600 yards, 672 passing. So they've been able to be pretty good against the passing attack. So it'll be interesting to see if Merrillville has to stick more to that run game tonight, or if this defense is going to focus on the run and make them throw the ball and beat them through the air.
And we've seen Frankie Verda really step up for the Indians as well. 23 receptions for 470 yards, 6 touchdowns too. So he's been helping out the quarterbacks for LC all year. And then defensively, it's certainly been a breakout year for Brody Ramirez, the linebacker, one of the top tacklers in the area, has been able to reel in an interception as well. But so Ramirez has been helping set things up from that linebacker position.
Yeah, he's definitely done a great job from that linebacker position. Looking at 74 total tackles on the season, 59 of them solo, 3 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and like you said, an interception along with a forced fumble. Doesn't have a fumble recovery on the season, I believe, yet. But it has given the opportunity for their defense to have 5 total fumble recoveries on the season. Interception-wise, you're looking at 2 interceptions and 1 defensive touchdown as well. So, this is a very strong defensive unit that may not always force turnovers. However, they are averaging about at least 1 turnover a game through 7 weeks of football. So the big thing is make Merrillville make mistakes. If I'm that defensive coordinator, you're wanting to put that quarterback in uncomfortable positions, making him try to get the ball out of his hand faster than he wants. Because the thing that Merrillville does really well on the play action is there's a lot of long developing routes, whether it's a wheel route or a post route. So you just want to make sure that you're stressing out that offense, make sure you're getting pressure when they are throwing the ball, but also making sure you have good coverage while getting that pressure.
So we see the verdicts of the coin toss there. Now let's take a look at the forecast here. The Friday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight is a great night for football in the region. It's 63 degrees here in St. John. There will be some wind gusts in the area. Temperatures will drop to the low 60s later on this evening, but the sun has set. We are ready for football here in St. John. This is about what you think of when you ask for a good night in October to play ball. That's the Friday night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So we see Merrillville with their purple helmets, white jerseys with purple numbers and purple stripes on the sleeves, purple pants with white stripes down the side. Lake Central with black helmets, blue decals, white face masks to complete the lids, while black jerseys with white and blue stripes on the shoulders, blue numbers outlined in white, blue pants with blue and white stripes down the side. Merrillville will kick off from left to right on your screens. Benito Gonzalez will look to hammer it downfield, while the Indians will send Logan Rodden back to return, as well as Xavier Reed, as they will try to start things off with good field position for the Indians.
Yeah, and this is a kicker. When I saw him a couple weeks ago, kicked a lot through the back of the end zone. He's got a pretty strong leg on him, but if he can keep it within the play or a field of play and prevent a touchback, this is a very good kick return or a kickoff team at swarming the ball carrier.
So Gonzalez sends this one deep, and we're officially underway. It will twirl down to Rodden, who will take it to his right. Jukes at the 20, continues to advance forward past the 25 and towards the Merrillville sideline. So that will bring the Lake Central Indians offense onto the field. They'll be led by Cameron Reddick at quarterback, Jacob Turley at running back, Andrew Kocheski at fullback, Hamza Issa, Logan Rodden, Xavier Green at wide receiver. The offensive line from left to right, Lucas Rocky, Matt Kafka, Colton Mines, Will Sandoval, and Jace Luther. They go with a formation with two backs beside Reddick and one behind him. Reddick will be a direct snap to one of those backs, and the Pirates will swarm to him and stop him near or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this is the Merrillville defensive line, like we talked about in the pregame. You know, not a lot of ball carriers get to that second level where you're seeing a lot of tackles from the linebackers. And again, you see them win at the point of contact right there. Direct snap fooled me a little bit. Looked like quarterback had it. Looked like he was just rolling out to the side. And, you know, again, it's a very gutsy play call in the beginning. Looks like you're lining up almost in a formation where you could run read option, triple option, direct snap like we saw. Not a very pass-friendly offense of scheme right there, but now they are going to a single back look now.
So they picked up a yard. Now Reddick will take it and will power to the left, tries to spin through a defender, but the Pirates will swarm to him. The pile continues to be pushed forward, so Reddick gets the ball to about the 35-yard line after all that.
Yeah, and they've made it a third and manageable for them. When you're a run-heavy team, you want to keep ahead of the sticks. You know, now you've made it looks like about a 3-yard try for first down. Made it very manageable for a guy especially who's been averaging about 5 yards a carry on the season in Reddick. But, you know, the big thing is here, offensive line needs to win at the point of attack right here. This is a big third down because you're not necessarily in fourth down territory, and you don't want to necessarily send out your punt team to start out right in the beginning.
So 3rd and 3, just shy of the 35. The nose of the football will be at the 35. Reddick with Turley behind him. They'll pitch it to a tight end, but the Pirates were able to read that one and stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Stanley Freeman was able to get to him as that play developed.
Yeah, Pirates defense did a really great job there. They're running a 2 tight end set. They're almost H-backs essentially because they're lined up right on the outside of the tackle as well as right behind him. That outside tight end was the one that caught the shuttle pass. So that defensive end, all he did was he saw him, essentially was thinking he was pulling, almost just a pull block from the tight end. Instead, he's the one getting the ball, and you're able to get there and make the tackle right away. So really great job by the defensive end of reading that from the beginning.
That was Brody Ramirez in at tight end. We'll see the punt team and T.J. Olencamp out for Lake Central. He boots this one downfield towards Curtis Walker, and it will skip out of play at around the 14-yard line. So that will bring the offensive unit out for the Pirates.
That was a very huge punt there. I think, almost 50 yards?
Yeah.
Give or take. That's a great punt in high school especially, but, I mean, you've really flipped the field position. You're having an offense, which, again, is a very high-powered offense that's been putting up some really good stats through the year, but you're having them start on their own 14. If this defense can make it a long drive, it's good for the offense to get a little bit of a break. But you do have some guys playing both ways on this Lake Central team, so a 3-and-out obviously is preferred.
So Michael Hill at quarterback. They put Jordan in motion to the left. They'll hand it off to J.Q. Johnson. He's going to roll to the right side of the line, and he barrels through a pair of Lake Central defenders to pick up a handful of yards on first down.
Yeah, and this, again, is a Merrillville offense. They're very balanced with the run and pass attack. They thrive with running on the outside, but they also love running the good old school Oregon offensive hurry up when Chip Kelly was there.
So after the 5-yard pickup, they'll pop it towards Jordan. He has some room along the right side. He keeps going towards the 40, where he is just forced out of bounds with the tackle. Desperation play by Jacob White Hustler to force him out of play to the Lake Central sideline. It is enough, though, for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. That's brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville.
Yeah, that was a great play by White Hustler there. If he doesn't make the play there, he's just running down the sideline, easy touchdown. And now we got a deep throw, and a wide open, I think it was Mikkel Smoot, who's been their big play receiver this season, just couldn't bring the ball in. No defensive back near him, which was, again, a very, very lucky play there for Lake Central. Looked like they brought some pressure right away, trying to get Hill to make a play. Benefited them right there, for sure.
So after the incompletion on first down, that sets up for 2nd and 10 for Merrillville from their own 40-yard line. Smoot will have to take the long trip back to the line of scrimmage to get set up, so that delays the hurry-up offense. From the right hash mark, Hill will throw it to his left to Johnson. Johnson has some room downfield, gets the first down, and then shimmies out of bounds for about a 11-yard pickup. So that first down is brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville, your Northwest Indiana heating and air conditioning specialists.
Yeah, Merrillville's best plays on this drive have been the little dink and dunks. The real quick off-tackle run, then you've got a jet sweep, and then you've got a little bubble screen almost.
Johnson takes the handoff and moves to the left side of the line where Lake Central will surround him and stop him for about a 4-yard pickup near the 45. So Merrillville moving into Lake Central territory and continues this hurry-up offense. Hill in the shotgun. Johnson, the running back, to his right. 2 receivers to either side as Hill drops back to pass. Scanning the field, he'll escape pressure and takes the pocket to the right, and he'll trot towards the 40 into the Lake Central sideline.
Yeah, and that's where Hill can really hurt you. He's a very mobile quarterback. He's got some good rushing stats on the season. I mean, again, this is an offense, like I said, Hill has done a lot for them, has put up a lot of total yards. And when you don't have a QB spy or if you're not getting full-out pressure or contain, he's going to be able to roll out, either make a play with his hands or with his arm or his legs.
So Hill picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Now they'll hand it off to J.Q. Johnson. He has room along the left side, keeps going, and takes a couple defenders with him to the sideline. And Johnson will secure another Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Or no, that will be just short. Got a little ahead of myself there. It was a 9-yard pickup for J.Q. Johnson. So the Pirates will go right back to Johnson. He continues to power forward, shakes past one tackler, and goes to the sideline. This will be enough to get the first down and then some.
Yeah, and this is where that hurry-up offense really hurts a defense. There's a flag on the field right now for too many men on the field. So they can either accept or decline it. Right here, you're going to decline it because it's a spot foul, so you would only get 5 yards from where you were. Obviously take the yards when Johnson already just had a huge run right there.
Yeah, so they'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pirates from the opposing 15. 7:49 remaining in the opening quarter. Scoreless so far here in Lake Central.
Might be the biggest delay on this offense this drive so far, trying to get the play in.
So 3 receivers to the right. It's another handoff to Johnson. He goes to the left and will be stopped near the 10.
Johnson's done a real good job on this first drive. He's averaging probably about 6-7 yards a carry. He's had mostly 5-yard runs, had a pretty big run right there. right before this play. So, they've been doing a good job of staying ahead of the sticks.
Johnson, a player who's rushed for 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons, as Hill connects with Lewis, spins through a defender, and is taken down just short of the goal line. But that's Rynell Lewis, the senior tight end, reeling in that one and picking up the first down. Four Seasons Mechanical first down that will set the Pirates up for 1st and goal.
Yeah, and something I really like about Lewis is he does a good job of reading the zone and just sitting in the pocket of the zone. He's not trying to scramble up and make a play, but he's always staying open for him.
So on first down, the Pirates will go to J.Q. Johnson. He's able to advance just about to the 1, so the Pirates will have it, let's say, inside the 1 for a very short 2nd and goal. Hand off to Johnson, and he will be stopped at the line of scrimmage by the Indians. So they're able to deny him from pay dirt on that 2nd down carry.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago when I saw Merrillville playing LaPorte, one thing I did notice when they're within the 10, their offense becomes a little bit more kind of stuffed up because, a lot of their plays are outside runs, developing plays. When you've only got 3 yards to go, it makes it harder for a play to develop.
3rd and goal. Hill drops back to pass, swings it to the right to Johnson, and Johnson will not be denied this time. He makes his way to the end zone for an early Pirate touchdown.
And that's something good to do right there. You do a quick swing pass to your running back. It's basically a screen pass at that point because the receivers know they're not getting the ball. They know it's going to be a swing pass to the halfback. They're either just trying to make it seem like that they're going to get the ball or they're essentially running a legal pick play.
So with 6:15 remaining in the first quarter, J.Q. Johnson brings it in 2 yards for a touchdown reception. Merrillville leads 6-0, waiting this extra point from Benito Gonzalez. And Gonzalez boots that one through the uprights, so it will be a 7-0 lead for the Pirates. We'll come back for kickoff and see how the Lake Central offense responds. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step towards your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So after the long scoring drive, Benito Gonzalez and the Pirates will look to send this one back, and the Lake Central offense will look to answer. Gonzalez's kickoff goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback, so that will bring the Lake Central offense onto the field. We'll get another look, or we will get another look at the Lake Central offense, and the defense of Merrillville will try to provide another stop.
Yeah, and this is a Lake Central offense. They ran the ball 3 times essentially, even though it was technically a pass to the tight end on the 3rd down because it was a shuttle pass, a forward movement of the ball coming out of his hands. If you really want to attack this Merrillville defense, they're bringing a lot of pressure. They've blitzed 3 times out of 3 last drive. Make sure to throw in some play action, throw in a screen. If pressure is getting to you or if they're getting in the backfield fast, you got to do something to get your playmakers out on the outside.
So Reddick hands it off to Turley from their own 20. He will move to about 6 yards on that pickup. So defensively up front, Merrillville led by Josiah Horton, Kieran Moore, Damian Jones, and Stanley Freeman. At linebacker, Jasavian Ellis, Amari Eller, and Keith Edwards. Antoine Jenkins and DJ Cannon at corner. And Warren Brown and Greg Hughes are the 2 safeties. So those are the defensive starters from Merrillville. Now it's 2nd and 5 for Lake Central from their own 25.
They're going back to that same look that we saw 2 plays in a row last drive with the 2 tight ends basically in an H-back position.
It's a handoff to Turley. He tries to use the hand to stiff arm through a defender, but then the Pirates are able to send a couple of purple helmets towards him and stop him just shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and about 2 yards. 3rd and 1 for the Indians.
Right now, I mean, Lake Central's done a really good job of running between the tackles. The guards and centers are doing a really good job of communicating, making sure they're getting the right guy, either whether it's a combo block from a shade up to the linebacker or checking if a 3 technique's coming down.
So following the pickup from Turley, Reddick will go close to the line under center, and they'll try to push him forward, and he will burst through, gets enough for the first down. So kind of similar to what the Eagles have been doing for a couple of years now, and it's enough for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, I think this might be the last year we see the Eagles really be able to run that. It sounds like NFL is finally going to ban that. But, it's a great play call. Quarterback sneak either way. I mean, I think Jason Kelsey said it best, 92% of the time it's going to work. We're going to get at least a yard, even without pushing them.
The Indians, they were able to get a couple yards on that from Reddick, so they pick up the first down through the ground game, and with 4:14 remaining in the first quarter, it's 1st and 10 from their own 34. It'll be a handoff to Turley, but the Pirates are able to get to him in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, and that's almost a rare thing you see out of an offensive lineman in high school. The center actually ended up having a pull block on there instead of I think it was the center and the guard that were pulling, which it's hard for a center to pull, especially in high school. You've really got to get out to the edge as fast as you can, and you've got to have a guard that's able to come down on it. If you have a shade on you on the side you're pulling to, that guard's got to be able to come down, really get that defensive tackle fast, because if not, they can blow up the play like that. Fastest way to the ball is straight line.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the left hash mark. Reddick with a running back behind him takes the snap. He rolls out to his right, fires to his tight end Ramirez, who will shake past the defender and stumbles towards the 50. That was Reisky at tight end, another linebacker playing tight end for the Indians, but he picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
And that's a way of keeping this defense honest. Again, I had just mentioned it. You got to, if you're getting a lot of pressure, start running some play action. Get your guys out in space, because there's going to be an open guy. If they're bringing, let's say they bring 5 guys, there's going to be at least 1 tight end wide receiver open out there, especially if only 5 linemen are blocking.
So good pickup through the air for the Indians. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 48. Now at the right hash mark, Reddick, pair of tight ends to his left, a running back behind him. He'll hand it off to Turley, who tries to work his way around that defensive front of the Pirates. Damian Jones was able to bring him down after a 2-yard pickup.
And the thing I like about what this offensive line is doing to really open those gaps in the middle, because, again, that's another run between the tackles where you get a 2-3 yard gain. They're not necessarily, it's called position blocking. You get in a position to where your defensive player can't get through you. You still want to drive them about a yard, whether to the right, left, back. But it lets the running back sit there and see, okay, this is the gap I can run through, this is a hole I can run through. And you're not making your offensive lineman do too much, just basically be in the way.
So after Turley gets 2 yards, the Indians move those tight ends to the left side of the line. They go to Turley again. He weaves through the defense. Edwards is able to stand him up, but Turley keeps moving. So picking up those yards after contact, it'll be a gain of about 7 yards to make it 3rd and short for Lake Central.
Yeah, and again, if you're Lake Central, if you're going to run the ball, keep running it up the middle. I mean, it's worked every time they've done it. You've gotten at least 3-4 yards every time you're staying ahead of the sticks. And again, where this benefits, it's really going to set up play action down the line for them, just like that first drive of Merrillville's. They had a really good run attack. It's going to set up play action later in this game when you got guys that are tired.
With 1:19 remaining in the quarter, they'll go to the push play again with Reddick under center. There's a pile up, and we'll try to sort things out of where Reddick is with the football. If it was enough for a first down, it does not appear to be so.
I was going to say that one's going to depend more on the spot from the line judge over by the sticks, because it's a very hard call But they are going to go for it. Probably another tush push or a fake of it in some way.
So they've entered 4-down territory, and that's sponsored by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. It will be the tush push again. Was it enough for the first down? It will be. So Reddick is able to break through, and it'll be a first down for Lake Central. Four Seasons Mechanical, first down.
It's a very gutsy call to go for it, and I do agree with it. I mean, you're in enemy territory essentially at that point. Might as well go for it. You know, worst that happens, yes, they're going to start with a good field position, but with a punt, you really need your punter to have what Pat McAfee used to love calling the coffin corner punt, and it's a hard punt to do. So if you're confident your quarterback is able to shoot the gap, do a quarterback sneak, do the tush push.
So Reddick on play action, rolling to his left, running out of time as the pocket collapses, and he just heaves that one to the Merrillville sideline. Incomplete.
I couldn't tell if he was outside of the he was definitely out of the tackle box. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I couldn't tell if he was still in the box when he threw it because then that would necessarily be grounding. Oh, they are going to throw the flag for it.
Oh, so there we go. So that will back the Indians up. 9 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Kind of shocked by that because it looked like he was outside the pocket. Maybe the back judge got a better look at it than we did. Obviously, you know, he's on the field. He's able to see it a lot better than we are from the sky. However, you know, on Saturday, Sunday, whenever the Lake Central Indians decide to watch film, eye in the sky don't lie. They'll know then if it was the right call or not.
So that will back Lake Central all the way up to their own 45. So now they'll have a ways to go. After this has really been a positive drive downfield, they've been able to string together consecutive gains of yardage on the run game and one pass play to Reisky. So now it's 2nd and 24 from their own 45-yard line.
Looks like you got some cushion coverage on these DBs too.
So Reddick in the shotgun with Turley to his left. 2 tight ends to the left side of the line as well. 1 receiver far left. Reddick will take the ball and run with it. Tries to get past Edwards, and then Horton wraps him up and takes him down, and that will be the last play of the quarter. Merrillville leads 7-0 after a 3-yard touchdown reception by J.Q. Johnson. We'll have the second quarter coming up next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort. Of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
Visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, Instagram and Region Sports Network, YouTube for this week's Home Improvement Top 10 presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. You can find them on the web at ebergexteriors.com. So now Lake Central back on the field. We switch sides. They will have 3rd and 22 from their own 47 following a 2-yard pickup from Cameron Reddick. So that penalty really kind of stifled what they've been trying to build on this drive.
Yeah, I could imagine going to a screen pass here to see what happens. You know, if you get the yardage, great. If not, you're at least in a better field position to punt.
Reddick rolling right. He's got 2 receivers that way. Tries to swim past a defender, but he is wrapped up and brought down in the backfield by Amari Eller for a loss.
Yeah, Eller did a good job of fighting through blocks. It looked like the running back actually came up and hit him along with the tackle, really trying to give Reddick some time to throw, and it just unfortunately didn't work. He did a really good job of getting through the tackle or through the blocks, able to make a big sack, and now it's going to be a 4th down. punter's got a leg on him. We saw it earlier, so if he's accurate enough, I think he could get the coffin corner here.
And we'll see TJ Olencamp for his second punt of the night. That first one was about 50 yards. Oh, they'll be snapping it from the 45, from their own 45.
And now it's going to be from their 40. False start.
So the penalties hurting Lake Central on this drive, and that's kind of what you can't really afford against a Merrillville team. We've seen Merrillville at times this year really just energized when their opponent takes penalties. That was kind of the difference in the Michigan City game when penalties at inopportune times by the Wolves, Merrill just seemed to then cash in on those next couple plays.
No, I agree. Merrillville does a really good job of it, really not being a heavily penalized team, but taking advantage of when the other team's getting penalties.
So that time will be put back on the board here as we get things sorted out. Have to watch for Warren Brown on the punt returns for Merrillville. We saw him take one to the house against Michigan City, so this is a Merrillville team that can hurt you on offense, defense, and very good special teams too, have made them a very dangerous team. Actually, will be Walker back to return the punt. It's a low snap, but Olencamps able to put it high in the air, take its first bounce at the 30, and then angle towards the Merrillville sideline. So the offense of Merrillville will take the field, led by Michael Hill at quarterback, J.Q. Johnson at running back, Rynell Lewis at tight end, Rayshawn Shelley, Cameron Jordan, Mikel Smoot, and Darnell Bowles make up the receiving core, while Aaron Wright, Jalen Carter, Jamal Cherry, Tremaine Hemingway, and Caden Osaiz make up the offensive line from left to right. They will take the field at their own 30. 10 minutes, 45 seconds remain in the second quarter. Merrillville leads 7-0.
Yeah, you're going to see Merrillville do that hurry-up offense again. It's not a one-off drive thing. Every drive I saw a couple weeks ago, it was hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
That's why I had to get the starters in now, because I know I won't have time after this first play.
Might be lucky
right
to call
back
with
to the line.
Let's say might be lucky to call their offensive formation if we're lucky.
So they'll set up near the right hash mark. Hill surveys the line, gets the all clear from the officials. So he'll have J.Q. Johnson at running back. Everybody bunched up towards the line. They'll put Jordan in motion. Hill drops back to pass. Floats one downfield to the right, and Lewis is able to reel it in. Lewis has room to run on the right side and will be twisted out of bounds inside the 20. So a long passing play by Hill and the Pirates moves them downfield.
Yeah, and again, that's the play action coming in. And when you bunch up your offensive formation like that, really great thing about it is you're able to sneak more guys downfield because, again, you're bunching up that defense. You're making it harder for the, linebacker, DB, whoever's supposed to cover who, whether it's man, zone. It moves the zone, moves the man coverage where it's more bunched up. So it makes it harder on them to guard their man.
Following the Four Seasons Mechanical first down, they'll go with a handoff to J.Q. Johnson. He continues to power to the right side of the line as shakes through a couple of tacklers and goes close to the first down marker. And as now the Pirates have it in the red zone here. Looks like it'll be second and short.
And Lake Central did a lot of good things in the red zone defense the last time around. Again, this is a defense, you're running a 4-3 defense essentially. If you're going to be running a 4-2, 4-3, you got to bring pressure. But it's hard when you've got a team that can throw the ball as good as this Merrillville team.
And we see the Pirates go with play action there. They were looking to thread the needle to Darnell Bowles, but it was broken up by the Indians. And we saw in the Crown Point game, Lake Central forced 2 turnovers against the Bulldogs, which not a lot of teams in the region can boast about that. One of those was a fumble forced in the red zone. So you look at the stats, the points allowed, maybe not where you want it to be. This is a Lake Central defense that has shown some promise and has stepped up at times against some very tough opponents.
Yeah, and again, that was a time they brought 6 guys. They brought pressure right away, and that's a good thing to run against play action, especially when it's a longer developing play action.
And there might have been a little too much motion at the line there for the Pirates, as that will back them up 5 yards via the illegal procedure. So they'll go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
The good thing with this Merrillville offense is 3rd and long, it doesn't always feel like a 3rd and long. They have some playmakers, both at wide receiver Then you also got J.Q. Johnson at running back, who's been making plays all night tonight. Hill's made some plays on some long downage. So, this is a very efficient Merrillville Pirates offense.
3rd and 7 from the 16. Hill in the shotgun, stepping back to pass. Fires one to his left, and it is nearly intercepted. Turley broke that pass up. It was intended for Jordan, or that was Embry. The defensive back was able to just get a paw on that one, almost made the interception. That could have been a big swing of momentum for the Indians. Now it sets up for 4th and 7.
Yeah, if he holds on to that ball right there, I don't think anyone catches him unless Johnson's able to run him down at, the 10-yard line. I mean, he is off to the races, not a lot of people near him. Merrillville's going to go for it here.
It'll be 4-down territory sponsored by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville, and Hill will fire a strike to Smoot, who is then dropped near the first down marker. It appears he will have enough for the first Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
And something I liked on that almost interception play, too, you did a delay blitz. So running back essentially is standing at the line of scrimmage. Linebacker's able to run full head of steam at him. And, again, here's another outside run from Johnson. You're not going to see him go up the middle a lot. And it's not that the center and guards can't make plays, but when you have a speedster like Johnson in the backfield, you want to get him out to the edge, have him going against the DB linebacker safety as soon as you can compared to having, a big defensive lineman be in his face right away at times.
They'll put both running backs in the backfield. Hill passes on 2nd and goal, and he connects with Cameron Jordan, but he is stopped in the backfield for a loss. So a big play by the Lake Central defense. Reisky was able to get in the backfield and drop Jordan for a loss.
Yeah, that was a great heads-up play there by Reisky. Noticed that it was going to be a halfback swing right away. Came full speed sprinting, knew where the ball was going, was able to make a play right away. Got to be careful with it at times, too, because this Merrillville offense will do a fake swing and have a guy wide open in the middle of the field.
So now 3rd and goal from the 14. Pirates have gone for it on 4th down already in this drive. They hand it off to J.Q. Johnson. He's going to weave to the 10, where the Indians eventually are able to stop him.
I think I saw some laundry flying in there from the back judge.
Looked like near the pile up.
They call face mask, I think?
Let's
was
see.
pointing towards the defense. Yeah, face mask.
Face mask on Lake Central.
Usually it's going to be a holding when you see a flag fly in like that from a back judge. Don't see them call a lot of face mask where it's going to be some kind of procedural thing. But, I mean, that's a huge penalty because now you go from 4th and long, it's going to be 3rd and 4 in the red zone. But, I mean, again, this is a Lake Central defense that's been holding its own so far this red zone trip. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be sticky with the coverage. Make sure that your guys are, if you're going to run man, press them right here. If you're going to run zone, run a cover 3 because it's going to cover the middle of the field as well as the outside and below.
So 3rd and goal, and it's a handoff to J.Q. Johnson. He plunges through the middle of the line, but he will be stopped short of the goal line. So it sets up 4th down, goal to go. I don't think there's any hesitation. Merrillville will keep the offense on the field, which means they've entered 4-down territory presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Hill hands off to Johnson. He will work his way towards the line.
I don't think
and he'll be stopped short of the goal line. So the Lake Central defense with a huge stop on 4th and goal.
Yeah, it didn't look like the ball had crossed the plane, and, that's a huge defensive stop there. You had a Merrillville offense that's driving down the field. You're able to stop a very explosive offense right there on the 1-yard line. It hurts because now you start your offensive drive on the 1.
You have a long ways to go.
Yeah, you got 99 yards to go. If you're going to run shotgun here, you got to be careful. Make sure the snap's not too high. It's got to be where the quarterback can catch it. Honestly, the tush push has worked for him. Maybe just first play or two, run tush
push.
push.
You can get out of the danger zone here, and
yeah,
we'll see what they run.
Heck, we saw with the Eagles last night, 4 tush pushes in a row from I think the 8-yard line.
And so Reddick will have some helpers with him in the backfield. Those 2 tight ends will be to the right side of the line. He'll go under center, and we might have had some movement before the snap.
Yeah, running back tried to get a head start to really push Reddick there to make sure they could get the first down, but Merrillville also, as soon as Reddick went under center, that linebacker came, or it might have been the safety came just screaming immediately
they knew
trying
what was
to jump.
Coming.
Got to be careful with trying to jump the snap because sometimes you can jump it way too early, and now you're giving them easy 5 yards.
So now it'll be 1st and 10, or 1st and maybe a little over 10 from inside the 1 yard line. The football is almost at the goal line.
We'll say the 10.5. 1st and 10.5.
Yeah, the offensive linemen are basically lined up in their own end zone. So Reddick in the shotgun, going through play action. He's running out of time, has to evade this pressure. He will slice to the left side of the line, and he's able to scramble for a positive gain.
That is a very gutsy play call there when you're throwing the ball from your own end zone. Not only is your quarterback in his own end zone, your whole offensive line's in the own end zone. And, I mean, he's got to be careful to not pull a Dan Rappaport or it might have not been Dan Rappaport. I can't think of his name. But the Vikings. Yeah, Orlovsky that ran right out of the back of the end zone because he wasn't paying attention. So it's a gutsy call, but when you've got a quarterback that has legs, it's the right call to make sometimes.
It's a 9-yard pickup for Reddick. Makes it 2nd and short. They hand off to Turley. He will try to cut to the left side of the line. Will pick up about a yard to make it 3rd and short. So now things a little more manageable for the Indians after Eller made the tackle on that play.
I think we're going to see a QB sneak here.
They'll bring looks like an extra tight end onto the field.
They're going to QB sneak it, or they're going to hand it off to the running back. Just no pulling. When it's hard because when it's short yardage like this, you don't necessarily want to pull an offensive lineman all the time, especially when you've got a defense that's blitzing probably about 80% of the time so far this game. You got to be careful with it. So if you're going to bring extra guys out, it better be man on man.
So Reddick will take the snap out of the shotgun, goes to the left side of the line, breaks through, and Warren Brown brings him down at the 20, but Reddick was able to squeak through the pile and pick up some additional yardage and gets the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
And I like that play call. You've got a quarterback, again, that's able to run the ball very efficiently. He was starting as a running back all season for them before the unfortunate injury to their starting quarterback. So now he's been thrust into the starting role. He was the starter last year. However, that's a very huge thing. And, when you have a quarterback that's able to run like him, you can do a direct snap to the quarterback run, don't have to fake anything. You've got 10 guys just running straight up the field.
They'll go motion right. Reddick now rolling right. Will tuck the ball and run. And the Pirates try to stop him, but he goes forward for a couple yards there. So Cameron Reddick doing a lot of work on the ground game on this drive, but has been able to help the Indians get to the 22-yard line with just over 7 minutes of game time remaining in the second quarter.
And one of the worst things as a defensive lineman, honestly, is when a run game is getting 2-3 yards every carry because it just wears you down. It's not a, one long play and then you're in the red zone. It's a, hey, we're going to grind this out 3 yards a play at a time. We're just going to keep running it straight at you.
They'll load up the right side of the line, 2nd and 7, and the ball squeaks loose. Turley has to scoop it up, and then the Pirates will pounce towards him at the 15. So a lot of that good work just undone on a bit of a miscue there.
Looked like Reddick was trying to hand it off almost before he had full possession of the ball there. I don't know if it was that or necessarily he was trying to catch the ball because it was a bad snap. Wasn't able to get a good view on what happened with the snap. That's a huge miscue and missed opportunity right there because you went from potentially 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. It's going to be 3rd and 15 almost.
From their own 14-yard line, 3rd and a ways to go, 15, just under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Reddick dropping back to pass. There are 3 receivers to the left. He'll throw to the right to Verda, who was being covered by Jenkins downfield, and we will see a penalty marker for that one.
Yeah, Jenkins didn't get turned around to make a play on the ball, so they're going to call PI 9 times out of 10 right there. But also, hats off to Reddick there. He saw the pressure coming. There was a linebacker screaming in his face, and, he was able to still get that ball off calmly. Didn't panic, didn't have a bad throw where he's throwing it straight at the defense. But again, that's a miscue from Merrillville defense now. Last drive it was a lot of penalties on Lake Central that really affect their offensive drive. Now it's almost flipped, essentially. Outside of a false start on your own 1 yard line, you really haven't had any penalties that have affected this offensive drive. Maybe a almost fumble recovery by Merrillville. But, this has been an efficient drive for this offense.
So new set of downs. The Pirates sending pressure. Reddick shakes past the blitzing linebacker and then just has to scramble forward for maybe a yard. They had Amari Eller flying in from his linebacker position on the blitz, and he nearly clobbered Reddick in the backfield, but he's able to avoid it and then picks up a couple yards on that play.
It's hard as a defensive player when you get in the backfield immediately. You're just thinking, I'm going to make this tackle, but sometimes you go for an arm tackle, and that's exactly what happened there. When you have a mobile quarterback that you're trying to bring down, cannot arm tackle him. He's going to be able to break it, and again, able to get 4 yards off that.
And there will be too much motion at the line as a Lake Central lineman was tumbled over by the linebacker. I think that was Eller. So it'll be encroachment on the defense. And so now that will make it 2nd and a yard for the Indians.
You know, as a linebacker, defensive lineman, if you're going to get called for it, you might as well make it worth it sometimes. Also, sometimes offensive linemen may sell it a little bit more sometimes, but more in a joking manner than a serious trying to draw the penalty.
So now the football's moved to the 38-yard line. 2nd and a yard for the Indians. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Turley. He's going to break forward and get enough yards for the first down.
It's been a very efficient run attack. Obviously, the big penalty with the pass interference really helped keep this drive alive. But, I mean, the run game has been solid outside of one miscue on that, bobbled snap or bobbled handoff, whatever it was. I mean, this has been a very efficient drive. Again, you're getting 3-4 yards a carry. Just keep doing it, keep doing it. I would say when you get to the other 45 or even to the 50, if you get 2nd and 3 from the 50 here, this is where you do a play action to the middle or a play action, dive or something because they're expecting you to run it straight up the middle. When you do a play action to the edge, they're going to catch on right away.
So Christian Reed gobbles up the first down, and now Turley will take this next handoff. Turley breaks through the 30 and continues to surge forward inside the 20.
It looks like it was almost a midline read, and that's a heck of a play call there because you essentially have your quarterback now reading a inside defensive player. So if he's sitting there, you're handing it off. Your running back's off to the races to the edge. You've got wide receivers, tight end, tackle out there blocking at linebackers, DBs. Or if he's following the running back, you essentially can hold on to it. Sometimes you have a pulling guard off the backside. This time they didn't. It was just a straight midline read. So, again, when you've got a quarterback that can run, stick with the read option.
So that was Christian Reed who picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. And now the Pirates again a little too eager showing blitz there. They will jump across the line. It'll be encroachment. So another 5-yard gain for the Indians. It'll be 1st and 5 from their own, we'll call it the 14.
Yeah, Merrillville's just trying to get a jump start every time they're on defense on this drive. Haven't been caught on too many offsides penalties, but I think that's 2 or 3 this drive alone. I mean, big thing with that, they're trying to jump the snap count because they know that 9 times out of 10, Lake Central's going to run the ball.
So 1st and 5 from the 15. Reddick in the shotgun has a trio of receivers to his right. It'll be a keeper for Reddick. He tries to go through the middle of the line. Curon Moore will drag him down shy of the first down.
And that's where the midline read option can really hurt a defense. Again, if you decide to follow the running back, you essentially now, your big defensive lineman that would be able to stop the quarterback that's right there as your interior defensive lineman, he's gone. There's a hole right there. Quarterback's able to run, and if he's got legs on him, I mean, he's able to get up to the line of scrimmage, if not beyond, in a snap of a finger. So, I mean, it's one of my favorite read option plays, especially at this level, just because it's a very hard thing to guard against.
2nd and 2, Reddick will keep it. Goes through the middle of the line again. Picks up 3 yards and the first down for the Indians. The Four Seasons Mechanical first down will make it 1st and goal for Lake Central. So now they're trying to put points on the board here, trailing 7-0 late in the second quarter.
3 midline options back to back, and I mean that is them setting the precedence for the rest of this game. They've not only has this been a very efficient drive for them, think of that, they started on their own 1. They've ran about 5 minutes off the clock. That's huge, especially because Merrillville's going to get the ball in the second half. So now you're limiting their offense, and you might make them have to burn a couple timeouts on this drive.
So 2.5 minutes to go. Reddick Hands it off to Turley. He will surge forward, drags a couple defenders with him, and will be stopped at the 2-yard line. So Jacob Turley with a good burst for 6 yards. Makes it 2nd and goal from the 2.
And what Merrillville's doing pretty well on this, too, is they're running a lot of – it's essentially a weak side run, not necessarily, because with the 4-3, again, sometimes you're going to have – a 2 technique, which is essentially lined head up on the guard. 3 technique that's on the outside shoulder of the guard between the guard and tackle, or you're going to have a shade, which is in between the guard and center. They've done a really good job of attacking the side where the 3 technique is. So now essentially you have your right guard blocking out on a 3 technique, center's combo blocking, so with the left guard or right guard. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout, so I can finish that explanation a little bit later.
So we will have 1:38 left to play in the 2nd quarter as you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Check out the IBEW Local 697 electrifying plays from this week's football action. Visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, or on Instagram. The electrifying plays presented by IBEW Local 697, the electrical professionals. So 2nd and goal for the Indians from the 2-yard line. They've essentially had to go 99, and we'll call it a half yards. They were basically on their own goal line at the start of this drive after that penalty. So now to make it to the opposing 2-yard line, they've covered a lot of ground and over 6 minutes of game time as well. Now with 1:38 remaining, Reddick in the pistol. He'll take it, drives forward, gets stood up at the line, and will be denied this chance at the end zone.
Going to get another timeout here, I believe. Yep, it's going to be on Merrillville. I mean, you've got 1.5 minutes left in this first half. You really want to save your offense with as much time as possible. But, again, this is a very explosive offense, so they can get a quick play, touchdown. They're known for it, for big plays. Again, they're averaging almost 300 yards passing a game, almost 150, 200 rushing. So it's a very explosive offense. But this has to be a relief for that Lake Central defensive coordinator. Your defense has been off the field now 6-7 minutes. They've been getting a lot of rest this drive, and they're able to essentially get minds back to where it needs to be, able to reset, especially after such a great defensive stand when you make that defensive stand on the 1-yard line.
Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports by supporting and following us on social media. We're always active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and online at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. So now the Indians will bring their offense back to the field here. 3rd and goal from the 1. 33 remaining. Merrillville leads 7-0.
Don't be shocked if they go for it on 4th down here. I mean, this is definitely a time, if you're Lake Central, you've got to go for it on 4th down if you don't get it here. Because, this sets the momentum. You're potentially tied going into halftime with the number 2 team in the region.
So they'll stack things up here, going for that quarterback sneak. Reddick trying to dive to the goal line, and he's in! Cameron Reddick finds pay dirt, and the Indians are on the board with 1:28 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Cameron Reddick plunges into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's huge because, again, offense has been on the field for about 7 minutes. This is a huge drive for them. You just went 99.5 yards, as we said. We'll give them a half yard with that false start to start out. But, that is a huge offensive drive right before halftime. You potentially go into half with a tied game now.
So now the extra point attempt, and it will be blocked. It was blocked. The Pirates are able to get there and reject it, but there is a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be offsides. They might have gotten – defense might have gotten there a little bit too early off. Personal. Personal foul on the defense.
So it'll be a personal foul on the Pirates, and then we'll see what happens here. TJ Olenkamp, the kicker for the Indians. So it's roughing the snapper.
Oh, that's right, because you can't hit the long snapper. It's a rule that's transcended from NFL all the way down to the high school level. If you make contact with a defenseless long snapper before he's able to get up, it's an automatic penalty every time.
So now we'll see a timeout taken by Lake Central. So we will take one with them. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
So now it looks like we're going to see Lake Central go for two here after you get the roughing the snapper. And we've seen Lake Central take some chances here. They've had to go for it on fourth down. They've had to get aggressive here. You're facing the number 2 team in the region. It's senior night. Why not get a little aggressive, take some chances, and try to pull off the upset here?
Well, and here's the other thing, too. If this offense lines up in a formation defensive coordinator on Merrillville doesn't like, they're probably going to burn a timeout, too, try to get the defense right. You know, offensive coordinator's probably calling something that Merrillville hasn't seen tonight or seen on film yet. Because, I mean, this is a big moment in the game.
So Cameron Reddick takes his team to the line. They send motion to the right. Reddick, it's going to be a pass from the running back, and it is incomplete. Turley lofted one up in the air, was trying to get it to Reddick, and he just couldn't quite come down to it. So the 2-point conversion unsuccessful. The score will be 7-6 with 1:28 remaining in the second quarter. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. So a little trickery attempted there, but not the result that the Indians were hoping for.
Yeah, it looked like they tried the good old Philly special, made famous from the 2017 Super Bowl, where they threw it to Nick Foles on a little end around for a touchdown. I mean, if he comes down with the ball, it wasn't a bad throw. You know, ball hit the receiver in the hands. Can't fault him. It's a running back who doesn't really throw the ball normally, so it might have not been as great of a throw as what Reddick was hoping for. But again, you know, if he comes down with that, they had Merrillville full.
Yeah.
Fooled, I mean, it was going to be an easy walk-in 2-point conversion. Now you're going up 8-7, potentially going into half. But now Merrillville gets the chance to try the Bill Belichick special of a double dip here. Try to score before halftime, come back out after the half and score again since they'll get the ball back.
And it will be a squib kick. It skips over to the 15 and still popping around. Walker eventually scoops it up off the field. Now he's going to roll to the right. We'll try to return it. Walker has some room along that right side. Gets to his own 20. Keeps going forward to the 40 before he is shoved out of bounds. So not exactly how you draw it up, but it ended up being a lengthy kick return for the Pirates.
Yeah, lengthy kick return's great here because now they've burned another 15 seconds off this clock. However, kick team looked like they got a little lucky there, got away with a horse collar almost, it looked like. You know, that would have been another 15 yards, and you've got a kicker over on Merrillville who, during pregame warm-ups, I mean, he was drilling them for the 40, 50, so you're pretty close to his field goal range to try a field goal attempt here if you decide to just try to get past the 50.
So all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Michael Hill and Merrillville take over on their own 38-yard line. 1:15 remaining. Hill will go through the air on first down. He connects with Smoot, who is then twisted into the Merrillville sideline. So the Pirates pick up a few yards.
Yeah, and that's something you're going to see Merrillville do a lot on this drive. They're going to try to keep a lot of passes towards the sidelines, give their receivers or a running back who's out there catching, you know, an easy chance to step out of bounds instead of burning timeouts. You've still got 2 timeouts left, though.
Hill again through the air. Lofts one in the direction of Smoot, and there will be a pile up near the sideline where he's sent out of bounds. Picks up enough yards for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Just a quick, easy curl route. Smoot turns around. Again, you're throwing with anticipation as a quarterback on these 2-minute drills. You're hoping that your guy's going to be where he's supposed to be at on the break. But this is a Merrillville offense that, again, is very good at playing on the fly, essentially.
Hill goes through the hands of Smoot. He was leaping up, trying to reel it in. Could not. It falls incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10 from the 46.
Looks like this Lake Central defense is just trying to prevent a big play, essentially. You know, they're not playing too close to the line. They're giving them anything within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, but they're not giving them the deep shots. They don't want it to be a quick drive because they know their offense is a run-heavy offense. It's going to be hard for them to score fast.
Hill throws a strike towards Bowles. He was the Smoot trying to make the one-handed catch, but he was rolling to the left while also leaning to the right to try to make that catch with his left hand. Incomplete. So now third down for the Pirates. Jordan will be in the backfield with Hill. They'll adjust things, send 3 receivers to the left, 1 man to the right. That's Walker. And it's a swing pass to Jordan. He's going to try to read the defense, cuts to the left, gets to the 45, keeps going to the 40 before being sent into the Lake Central offense. So he picks up some of the yardage, and it'll make it 4th and short for the Pirates with 32 seconds remaining. They will take a timeout. It appears they've entered 4-down territory. That's presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. You can visit them on the web at fourseasons.com. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Later stages of the second quarter here, 32 seconds remaining. Merrillville appears to want to go for it on 4th down here, trying to add to their 7-6 lead on the Lake Central 38-yard line. 4th and 2 to get, and this is a versatile Merrillville offense, so there's a lot of ways they could try to pick up these 2 yards.
Well, and here's the interesting thing. They don't have Johnson in the backfield right now. It looks like they have brought
that'll be Jordan in the backfield with them.
I wonder if Johnson's maybe lined up at receiver.
It does not appear to be so. It might be the personnel they want. And now, see a timeout, another timeout taken, so back-to-back timeouts by Merrillville. So they're really trying to make sure they like what they are rolling out there.
I'm curious because, you know, in the NFL and I think college football, if you call back-to-back timeouts, it's an automatic penalty. Mm-hmm. I believe it just happened. It might have been in the Chiefs-Jaguars game Monday Night Football this past week. I could be wrong on that, but, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if eventually you start seeing that at the high school level as well. But definitely, you know, Merrillville came out, didn't like the offensive formation they had against the defensive formation. You were able to call the back-to-back timeouts here. Might as well make sure your offense is ready to go because, I mean, this is a huge 4th down. You're in Hail Mary territory if you're Lake Central.
From the left hash mark, Jordan will be to the right of Hill in the backfield. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. They'll put Jordan in motion to the right, and then Hill will keep it. He weaves through and gets past the 35, so he is able to pick up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down with that designed run.
Yep, and the clock stops with the first down. You know, now if they want to stop the clock, they're either going to have to get out of bounds or they're going to have to spike the ball
Hill
eventually.
Throws to the left to Walker, who is wrapped up near the sideline before eventually being pushed out by Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez got there a little late. Ref is being a little bit lenient with the late hit there. But, you know, again, it's a good play by Ramirez because if he wasn't there, wide receiver has a chance to turn around and essentially take off to the races with the DB trying to make an arm tackle.
2 receivers to either side. Hill looking to pass, throws to Smoot. Smoot turns and runs, trying to get to the sideline. He will. So back-to-back Four Seasons Mechanical first downs for the Pirates. Now 9 seconds remaining. They will have the ball right around the 10-yard line, trying to punch it in here, leading 7-6.
Yeah, if you're Lake Central's defense right now, you can't keep giving cushion anymore. You've only got 10 yards to the end zone. You've got to start putting some pressure on the quarterback, or you got to start putting some pressure on these receivers. And an offense might have gotten a little happy there.
Yeah, we'll have a penalty marker on the field. We'll see. Yep. I'll start on the offense, so that'll back them up 5 yards to the 15, so 8.5 seconds remaining.
This is the Merrillville offense. When I saw them 2 weeks ago, they had a lot of false start penalties. And, sometimes that can be an attribute of running hurry-up offense.
Right.
It could be an offensive lineman jumping early because, again, you're getting tired. It's been a long drive sometimes. You're getting straight to the line of scrimmage, not really getting a chance to take a breather in between plays. So right here, they've probably got 2 play calls. Probably have a play call for right when they get up there or out of bounds. And they've got a play call for right after, just so that way they can keep going without Hill having to look to the sideline and get the play call.
So first and goal from the 15.
Looks like there's some confusion down on the field.
I wonder if they're trying to
fix the clock,
add some
now
time.
It's showing
9 minutes and 10 seconds remain. That certainly will not be the case, and it'll be maybe 9.1. So every little bit helps here.
I was about to say, I think they've got it at 91 seconds on the clock.
There
we
we
go.
go.
There we go. I was going to say 91 seconds. That's another minute and a half of football.
It's a lot of time for this Merrillville offense. They'll put Bogart in motion. Hill dropping back to pass. Lofts one downfield. He's got Lewis wide open, and he will make the catch. Rynell Lewis with the touchdown reception will add to the Pirate lead.
Yeah, and that gives Merrillville an opportunity. Like I said earlier, they're going to be able to double dip now. You scored right before half, able to come out right after the first half and try to score again. I mean, hats off to Hill there. Linebacker screaming in his face again. Both quarterbacks have done a good job when pressure is there, when someone is in their face, they're able to get the ball out still. I mean, Hill, again, when you've got a blitzing middle linebacker, there's probably going to be an opening in the middle of the field. He let it develop. Wide receivers wide open. Easy touchdown toss. Wall getting hit at the same time.
For Lewis, that was his 4th reception of the year. The PAT is good, so Merrillville leads 14-6. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. As that was a big drive for Merrillville as they'll try to, as you said, double dip here. Got those points at the end of the first half, and now we'll be receiving the ball at the start of the third quarter. After what was a very long drive by Lake Central, put points on the board. Merrillville just scores.
Snap of
no
a
problem.
finger. Yeah. And I mean, this is a Merrillville offense that strives themselves in having, playmakers that are able to cause quick drives.
The kick from Gonzalez skips all the way to the 10-yard line where it's scooped up by the Indians. They'll look to take it a long distance going to the right side and eventually wrapped up and brought down Keith Edwards with the finisher there. So that's how the first half will end. Merrillville leads 14-6 over conference rival Lake Central. We will provide some scores from around the region, break down the first half. Plenty of halftime coverage coming up next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort. Of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
This scoreboard update is courtesy of your neighborhood Strachan Van Til Food Market. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. So as scores are filtering in, we see Lowell leading Munster 14-0 at the half. Rensselaer Central leads River Forest 22-6 in the Central quarter. LaPorte leads Michigan City 7-0 at the half. Humbert leads over Morden 13-0. Valparaiso Vikings lead over the Portage Indians 13-3 at halftime. So the Vikings looking for a win to stop their losing streak. Westside Cougars lead over Bishop Knoll 16-6. That one's in the second quarter. As the scores continue to fall in here, Wheeler with a big 35-0 lead over Whiting. Second quarter action for that one with the Bearcats ahead. They're number 5 in our RSN poll. Ullman Academy leads over Tri-County 14-6. That one is in the second quarter. As the number 1 team in our RSN poll in a top 10 matchup, Crown Point leads over Chesterton 35-10. That one's in the second quarter. So the Bulldogs continue to put up big scores. Griffith, number 6 in the RSN poll, with a 42-6 lead over Calumet. Second quarter there for the Panthers after Calumet provided a scare against Wheeler last week. In the first quarter, Hammond Central and East Chicago Central both evened up at 0 early in that matchup. Andrean, number 3 in our RSN poll, with a 14-0 lead over Hanover Central. They're at the half. So the 59ers lead by 2 touchdowns. Lake Station and Boone Grove scoreless so far. We're here at Lake Central, where the Merrillville Pirates lead 14-6, and they're a little number 2 in our RSN poll, but Lake Central trying to play the role of spoiler on senior night. A lot of enthusiasm here, and mentioned LaPorte with a 7-0 lead over the number 7 Michigan City Wolves at halftime. You can follow all of tonight's Region Football scores live on the Hometown Scoreboard, streaming on youtube.com/regionsports, facebook.com/regionsports, and regionsports.com, courtesy of your neighborhood Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. When we come back, we'll take a look at what happened in the first half and then preview the second half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Halftime here at Lake Central. Leo Staudaher, Chris Figg with you, where the number 2 ranked Merrillville Pirates lead over Lake Central 14-6 at the half. The Pirates struck first with a 3-yard touchdown reception by J.Q. Johnson. Then Lake Central would answer in the second half with a long, time-consuming drive going 99 yards, capped off by a 1-yard plunge by Cameron Reddick. They would fail the 2-point conversion, so the score would be 7-6. And then Merrillville answered back after a long time on the bench with a 16-yard touchdown reception by Rynell Lewis to make it 14-6. So, Chris, where we stand here, the Indians showed a good answer to make it 7-6, and then the Pirate offense, though, has been efficient, being able to put together some other lengthy drives and score to have the lead. But 14-6, maybe a little closer than expected. You have to certainly credit Lake Central for hanging in there.
Yeah, I mean, Lake Central's defense has done a really great job of not letting the big play happen against this Merrillville offense that, again, we've talked about multiple times now has been a very high-power offense all season. The big thing is that, you know, they had a huge stop on their own 1-yard line. Merrillville decided to go for it on fourth. I love the play call of going for it on fourth, but in the same instance, sometimes it's better to go get the 3 points. Because, again, we don't know if then Lake Central goes on a 99.5-yard drive that takes off 7-8 minutes off the clock. Maybe you take some momentum to your defense of, hey, we drove down the field, and even though it's not a touchdown, we still scored. Go out there, do your job, maintain the shutout. We can keep scoring, make this an easier game on us. Instead, you go for it, which, again, don't hate it by any means. It's a very aggressive play call, and as we've seen, this Merrillville offense is very aggressive. They're running to the line. They're running hurry up. there's times that quarterback's not even looking at the sideline. He's already been given 2 plays of, hey, you run this play, then you run this play. Go. So, I mean, this has been a very, high octane, almost essentially a NASCAR pit stop offense. It's looking like Oregon did with Chip Kelly, where they ran nothing but hurry up with Marcus Mariota, any quarterback that was in the Chip Kelly offense. So it's just one of those things, sometimes hurry up can come back and bite you. We saw it with a couple false start penalties on that drive that ended on the Lake Central 1-yard line. But in the same breath, if your offensive line and your offense is well-conditioned, you're hoping the defense isn't as well-conditioned. You're hoping that you're catching them tired. Because, again, the Merrillville offense isn't making substitutions by any means. They're keeping the same 11 out there every time. Once those 11 are out, they don't come off the field until the end of the drive. We saw Mikkel Smoot, who ran a streak route down the field, 60 yards down the field, drop a pass, have to run 60 yards all the way back to the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, they're not giving this Lake Central defense an opportunity to really change personnel. But also, Lake Central's done a good job of handling that adversity. They're able to still, either if they're subbing someone in, they have that sub ready to run on the field as soon as the play's over. They know that they're subbing out someone. They're trying to yell, get the person's attention. They got caught with too many men on the field at one point on their first defensive drive, but other than that, they haven't had any issues with substitutions. But, just keep doing what you're doing on defense. Last minute and a half drive, you're playing a lot of cushion coverage, hoping for not a big play. Merrillville took very great advantage of that. Running quick 10-yard curl routes, able to keep it near the sidelines, get out of bounds real quick. It's hard because, under a minute and a half, you don't want to run too much cushion, but you also don't want to allow a big play either.
And I think when you look at it, too, how Lake Central's been able to execute. And for the Indians, 2-5 on the year, record isn't where they wanted to be. They've had some tough losses to some of the top teams in the region, but kind of the story of that Crown Point game where they were able to get a stop here and there, but then didn't follow it up. So you look at tonight against Merrillville and other of the top teams in the area. You get the stop on your own 1-yard line, and then the fact that they were able to follow it up, I was very impressed by that drive. Cameron Reddick did a lot of work in the ground game. Christian Reed had a 30-yard run. That was a very mature drive, and I'd say where we've seen growth from Lake Central this year, where maybe early in the year, that drive there would have been some procedural penalties or some miscues. That time they were able to execute. There was a penalty on that drive. They weren't unraveled by it. They overcame it and were able to finish that drive with points. So I was very impressed by what we saw from getting the stop defensively and then building off of it with the touchdown.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's a 99-yard drive. That is where you decide who really loves this game, especially as an offensive player. Because, I mean, again, and this is an Lake Central offense, even though they go to the huddle, not really subbing a lot of people out. And especially on your offensive line, those long drives can be killers, but also it's great as an offensive lineman because if the other side's not subbing those defensive linemen right across from you, just as tired as you are, and you know what the fun part is? You know what's going to happen. They don't. You know the play call. They're still trying to guess and hope that, drive can end. But, that was a really great job. I agree with you. This Lake Central team has really matured through the season. I mean, that 99-yard drive right there shows it for sure.
So the halftime coverage continues along here at Lake Central. We'll step aside when we come back. Continue to get you ready for the third quarter. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, my name is Mark Machnick. I'm the owner of Mark Machnick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. we're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. It's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland, and ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports, mainly because I get a lot of feedback, especially on the high school level. A lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports by supporting and following us on social media. We're always active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and online at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. So when we resume for the third quarter, it will be Merrillville ready to return the kick. What are you looking for, Chris, from the Merrillville team to try to, up 14-6, what are you looking for them to try to refine or improve upon in the third quarter?
I would say improve upon trying to run between the tackles. You became a little bit predictable by running to the outside every time. They had one run up the middle, and it went for 3-4 yards, so it wasn't a huge gain. But you got to mix it up, because eventually defense is going to catch on. If I'm Merrillville, just kind of keep doing what you're doing, though, too. It's been working. Mix in some play action here and there. I would like to see maybe a wide receiver screen to Smoot. I mean, again, he's had some pretty athletic plays today as well as 2 weeks ago when I got to see him play. So, I mean, again, this is a Merrillville offense. They've got a ton of athletes across the field. Just make sure you keep getting them involved, whether it's through screens, passes, runs, whatever. I wouldn't be shocked, too. They do have a player on their team who is a backup quarterback but is also a wide receiver. Darnell Bowles. Yeah, I've seen him before go out there 2 weeks ago. Hill was unable to finish the game, was hurt. Bowles went out there, didn't look too bad at quarterback. They tried a double pass with him almost. So, don't be shocked if some trick plays come out. You've been playing some very vanilla football, which, again, nothing wrong with that. You've stuck to what's worked. You stick to your game plan. Vanilla football wins games sometimes. However, Lake Central defense, again, has been playing good. You might have to throw in a trick play eventually to catch them off guard to really break open this game. I mean, I think they're 1-2 big plays away from really breaking open the game with their offense.
And then on the other side of the field, we've seen Lake Central take some chances, go for it on fourth down, try the trick play on the 2-point conversion. If they want to try to upset the Pirates, what do they need to do in the second half?
Yeah, second half defense needs to come out, just lights out defense. Make sure that you're bringing pressure to Hill. Hill's been good under pressure, but if you're only going to bring 4 guys, try to have at least a linebacker that's in a middle zone that's spying the quarterback. I mean, a lot of the big gashing pass plays have been middle of the field passes. So make sure you're protecting the middle of the field. Get pressure on the quarterback. Don't let him have too much time. I mean, it seems like almost every time he drops back to pass, he's got 3-4 seconds, it feels like at times. Offensive line has done a great job of preventing a pass rush. On the offensive side of things, I mean, again, midline option, they tried it 3 times on that touchdown drive, 3 huge gains, and then led into a QB sneak. So, I mean, again, it's one of those things, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If the inside run's working, if the read option's working, keep doing it. Focus on it. I'd like to see some speed option where you have the quarterback able to pitch the ball, because it gets your quarterback reading essentially either a defensive end or a walked-up linebacker, DB. If it's a DB outside linebacker, you're removing essentially a defensive skill guy away from the defense. It has to make a decision of either stick with the quarterback or go for the running back. But, again, you're a very run-heavy offense. Stick with the options. Stick with running in between the tackles. That's where you've been most successful at. And just bleed the clock out. Don't leave this Merrillville offense time to get out there and score a touchdown.
So we'll have the third quarter between the Indians and the Pirates. It's next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep. Skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Getting ready to go here at Lake Central for the third quarter between the host Lake Central Indians and the visiting Merrillville Pirates. Merrillville number 2 in our RSN poll. They lead 14-6. They will be receiving the third quarter kickoff. Leo Stauder, Chris Figg with you for this DAC matchup. It was Merrillville who got the win a year ago against the Indians, so the Pirates trying to add to the streak while the Indians trying to break things up against a team from their same conference. Merrillville 4 wins in their last 4 games after a 1-2 start to the year, but those 2 losses to Loyola Academy from Illinois and Crown Point, so 2 very challenging opponents. Certainly more than meets the eye with that 1-2 start, and they have followed up with 4 strong wins, 44-23 against Portage, 44-7 at Michigan City, 38-0 versus LaPorte, and then 48-21 last week at Valpo. So they will look to keep things rolling while the Indians have lost their last 4, so trying to stop the skid. This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Lake Central in the all-black uniforms will be kicking off from left to right to Merrillville in the purple helmets, white jerseys, and purple pants. As Olencamp steps into his kick, he will skip it towards the 40, and it will pop out of bounds. So not what the Indians were hoping for there with that attempted onside kick.
I was just about to say I'd love to see Lake Central come out of the half and just try it. Why not catch this Merrillville team off guard? We've seen it happen, in the NFL when it was the Saints-Colts Super Bowl. We've seen it in high school, college football, all forms of football. Come out of the half. You're only down 1 score. You don't necessarily need to onside kick it, but kick return teams never expecting it right out of half.
So now the defense from Lake Central. Dylan Scanlon, Jacob Jones, and Isaiah Alvarez make up the defensive line. Brian Reisky, Brody Ramirez, and Luke Falis make up the linebackers. Lucas Embry, Lucas Lynn, Braden Hurley, Jacob White Hustler, and Colin Myers will be patrolling the secondary. The offense from Merrillville led by Michael Hill at quarterback, J.Q. Johnson at running back, Cameron Jordan at a running back receiver role, Rynell Lewis at tight end, Shelley, Bowles, and Smoot make up the receiving core. They take over on their own 43, put Jordan in motion. It's a handoff to Johnson. He has room through the middle, makes a move at the logo, powers past midfield, and will be stopped for about a 7-yard pickup.
And that's a good way to get really started out in this second half of running in between the tackles. You've run Jordan in a motion, essentially. You've used it to throw swing passes to him, done it to do a jet sweep with him, fool the defense into thinking he's going to hit the edge, and you run right up the middle with Jordan.
So it was a 9-yard pickup for Johnson. They put Lewis in motion. Hill drops back to pass, looking downfield, lofts one towards Jordan. He's wide open, and it just drops in front of him. So a deep pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down.
I know it's not the man he was looking for, but Lewis was wide open over here just in the quick flat. There was no Lake Central players over here. They were all focused on trying to get pressure on the quarterback or worrying about the deep ball. He could have probably taken off for 10, 15 yards, but, especially in high school football, you don't always have your quarterback completely reading the defense. You've got 1 or 2 guys he's supposed to throw to, and that's it.
So following the incompletion, it's 3rd and 1 for the Pirates from the 48-yard line. Hill in the shotgun. Hands it off to J.Q. Johnson. He'll break through the right side of the line. He continues to go, crossing over to the 30. J.Q. Johnson will take it for a touchdown, a 48-yard touchdown run. And the Pirates score on their opening drive of the 3rd quarter, increase their lead to 20-6, awaiting the extra point.
Yeah, and again, ran right between the tackles. In a sense, it was between the tackles, but it wasn't because your whole offensive line was running it like a true outside zone. He more so cut it back to make it an inside zone run. So, hats off to Johnson for reading the defensive line and reading the defensive coverage, seeing a gap and just saying, hey, I'm going to cut back instead of following my blocks fully here.
For Johnson, that's his 7th touchdown of the year. Benito Gonzalez gets ready for the PAT, drills it through the uprights, so it'll make it a 21-6 lead for the Pirates. With 11-12 remaining in the 3rd quarter, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step towards your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So Benito Gonzalez will look to drive this one downfield. Following the 48-yard touchdown run by Johnson, it will sail to the 5 where it takes a high bounce, and the Pirates step to the end zone. So that was Smith on the attempted return. It will be a touchback, and that'll bring Cameron Reddick and the Lake Central offense on the field. Jacob Turley at running back, Hamza Issa, Logan Rodden, and Xavier Green at receiver. Lucas Rocky, Matt Kafka, Colton Mines, Will Sandoval, and Jace Luther make up the offensive line from left to right. Defensively, Merrillville will send Josiah Horton, Q-Ron Moore, Damian Jones, and Stanley Freeman at the line. Jasavian Ellis, Amari Eller, and Keith Edwards at linebacker. Antoine Jenkins and DJ Cannon at corner, and Warren Brown and Greg Hughes at safety.
Try to rush out there to get the defense off guard, but just wasn't able to line up fast enough.
Reddick in a passing situation will throw that one away as he was under pressure. He had Damian Jones barreling down towards him in the backfield, so he had to escape to the right and throw it away, incomplete.
Great catch by the coach on the sidelines there and then complete pass. But, good job. Good job there by Reddick to get out of the pocket, make sure that he's able to get rid of the ball, not take a big sack there to start out your first offensive drive of this half.
And he avoided the intentional grounding. We saw that was a problem in the first half where they got plagued by one of those. So
yeah, because that's a loss of down and spot of the foul. It's not a 5-yard penalty or anything like that. It makes it life a lot harder on you.
2nd and 10 from the 20, just over 11 minutes to play in the third quarter. Play action, he'll fire a quick strike to Issa, who will scoot forward and pick up a good chunk of yards for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down, brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville.
Yeah, and that's a play action back-to-back, and they're doing a good job of getting the ball. You tried on the first one, you tried to make it a longer developing play action play. Second one, you come back, you say, hey, we're just going to do a quick one, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, catch this defense off guard.
Mansfield on the reception, sets up for 1st and 10 from the 41. Reddick in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. They look to the sideline for the play. So Reddick, low snap, play action, lofts one downfield. And what a catch! It's caught at the 29. Verda with the reception, helping flip the field for the Indians.
What a catch there by Verda. And, hats off to Reddick for trusting his receiver, throwing it to a receiver. He was like, hey, I'm going to let you fight with the DB. Either you're going to come down with it or you're going to knock it away, make sure he doesn't pick it off. I mean, hats off to the receiver. What a great catch. Stayed focused on the ball, was able to bring it in. Huge first down there. I mean, we've seen 3 passes back-to-back. Lake Central's really flipped the script this second half.
It's a long Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Sets up for 1st and 10 from the 29. Reddick will keep this one. Tries to break to the left side of the line. Continues to drive towards the Merrillville sideline where he's sent out of bounds. Picks up about 3 yards on the carry.
I think instead of him trying to break to the right, it was almost like a quarterback misdirection run. Like, try to get the defense off guard because the whole offensive line, everything's flowing to the left. But in the same breath, if you see the defense all flow with the offensive line, sometimes quarterback can say, hey, I'm just going to run straight ahead. Not always a easy decision to make, but that is the first run of this drive for them.
The 2-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 8 from the 27. And Turley will take the handoff. He has nowhere to go. The Pirates swarm to him, drop him past the 31.
And that is
Edwards, Freeman, and Horton among the first purple helmets to get to him to take him down for the loss.
And again, that was just a midline read option. And the best way to defend against it is you just blitz, bring 6. And it's not something, obviously, you're not going to know when they're running it, but this is a Merrillville team that's blitzed very heavily against this run-heavy team. Again, move to a screen game. Do some quick passes.
Reddick looking to go through the air on 3rd down. He will fire a strike to his right, where then they are able to pick up a few yards. Mansfield able to scoot forward to make it 4th and short. It looks like we will see the offense stay on the field. So they have entered 4-down territory. That's brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
And right there, just like I was just saying, move to the quick pass. This is a blitz-happy defense. Throw the ball quick. Get the ball out of your guys' hands. Oh, and they got him. Easy first down here now for them getting the defense to jump. I mean, that definitely makes your heart rate go down a little bit compared to going for it on 4th and 3 in opponent territory.
So that will help the Indians get a new set of downs with the 5-yard encroachment penalty. So they will continue to move forward here. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. And so the Indians trying to answer after the 48-yard touchdown run by J.Q. Johnson.
Yeah, and definitely, Lake Central's done a good job of getting this defense to jump off sides a couple times. Go to that hard snap count when it's a short yardage situation. Try to get some easy yards.
So now new set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 17. Reddick low snap. Play action. Throws towards Verda. Broken up by Jenkins. He swats it away.
That was a good heads-up play there by Jenkins. It looked like Verda was going to come down with it. The big thing is that Reddick's pretty lucky there because it looked like the safety tried to scoop it up as it was getting knocked down. I believe that was Warren Brown there trying to scoop up the ball getting swatted down. That's a good play by Jenkins. Instead of trying to just necessarily knock the ball and potentially it going up and giving the receiver a chance, you swat it towards the ground. Make sure if anyone's getting it, it's a DB sliding there, or if a wide receiver slides and catches that, that's an ESPN top 10 play. I mean, you can't do too much to prevent it.
So following the incompletion, it makes it 2nd and 10. Reddick looking to go through the air again, avoiding pressure, slides to the right, and then fires one sidearmed out of bounds. Incomplete.
Seems like even when he's not really scrambling to throw out of bounds, he really likes that sidearm throw. But yet again, Lake Central can be its own worst enemy on this drive. You go from doing quick passes, getting good yards off it, to you're trying to go to a long developing play. You can't do long developing plays against a blitz-happy defense. Because when you do that, you're making your quarterback sit in the pocket too long. And again, offensive line can only block 5 guys. They can't block 6 guys.
So after the incompletion, 3rd down for the Indians, trailing 21-6. Reddick swims out of the pocket, has some room to weave upfield, gets to the 10, and is toppled over. Edwards was able to halt his forward momentum, but it was enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down as Reddick gets to the 5. Warren Brown was the final tackler on that play.
Yeah, that was a heads-up play by Reddick there. And, again, Merrillville brought blitz. This time they showed 6, but they had the 6th guy drop back into a spy. So it didn't necessarily bring all 6, and Reddick was able to beat the spy, get some good yards. Lake Central's looking to punch it in again on back-to-back offensive drives.
So now it's 1st and goal from the 5, Lake Central, with under 7 minutes to go, trying to punch this one in here. They'll send 3 receivers to the left side of the line. Reddick's going to roll to the right. Turley, his lead blocker, and then Horton will drag him down inside the 5.
If I'm Lake Central here, honestly, you might hand off. Either you're going to hand it off to the halfback, have him go up the middle, or do another kind of QB power play, QB blast, where your quarterback's essentially just running a dive play, going straight forward. Again, make it 10 on 10. One guy's got to make the tackle.
It's now 2nd and goal from the 3 for the Indians. Trying to find their way to pay dirt here. 6:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter. So Reddick will have Turley behind him. 1 receiver far out to the left. 2 tight ends to the left side of the line. Reddick gives it to Turley, and he will walk into the end zone on the right side of the line. Jacob Turley answers back for the Indians.
And that was a long drive, too. They got the ball with just over 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. They brought it down a whole 6 minutes almost. I mean, that's a long drive, and that's what you need to do. You keep this Merrillville offense off the field, drive down the field, make it a long drive. Again, this Lake Central offense outside the first drive, I mean, they've only had 3 offensive drives. And of the 3, 2 have led to touchdowns. But now, if you're Lake Central, almost almost think you go for two here because, I mean, you're down 12-21. If you go for two and get it, you're down a touchdown you're down a touchdown and 2-point conversion if you make this.
So they have Olenkemp out for the PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick. Off the upright. Olenkemp sends it off the left upright, so it's no good. So the score remains 21-12 with 5:59 to play in the third quarter. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So 21-12, Merrillville leads. And it's another onside attempt. This one pops around. That was handled by the Pirates. Marcus Yancey had to play it forward and then fall on top of it.
Good play there by Yancey. I mean, it looked like he was going to let it bounce right back to the kicking team, and good job by the kicker. I mean, he drilled the onside kick right at a player, hoping that he wouldn't be able to catch it. You know, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but most onside kicks you see recovered is when essentially a player just gets drilled by the ball, doesn't see it coming. Looked like Merrillville was ready for the onside kick there, thinking Lake Central was going to try to do it again to get close to trying to bring this game back into within a score. Right now it's a 2-score game, unfortunately.
So the Pirates will take over on their own 49-yard line. J.Q. Johnson put in motion to the right side. It's a handoff to Cameron Jordan. He will plow forward to the 45 where he's eventually stopped.
And that's not an offensive formation we've seen a lot out of them where they go to the two backs in the backfield out of shotgun. It's something I saw a lot of success for them 2 weeks ago where they would move either Johnson or Jordan in motion and they would eventually turn it into a play action. Then you're throwing a swing pass out to them and there's no one near them.
Jordan put in motion after the 6-yard pickup. They'll hand it off to J.Q. Johnson. He rolls to the left side of the line, gets to the 40, sent out of bounds, but there is a flag on the field.
If I was a betting man, I'm going to say holding, and it is a holding.
So that will send the Pirates backwards after what appeared to be a nice pickup by J.Q. Johnson.
Yeah, it's going to be second and 14 now, which, again, this is a Merrillville offense. Haven't really been affected by the longer downage. But, you know, this is a new half. If you can get a defensive stop right here, get a quick 3 and out, get your offense back on the field that's been draining the clock, you go from a 2-score game to a 1-score game, and you put more pressure on Merrillville to really have to drive down the field and score compared to right now, you know, there's not as much urgency.
5:15 remaining in the quarter. 2nd and 13. Hill, play action, looking to pass. Fires one downfield. And Smoot goes up, gets tangled with a defender. They are both hanging onto the football. There was a penalty marker thrown. It is a completion to Smoot.
That's a heck of a catch there by Smoot. I mean, he was swarmed by the defensive player, and it's going to be a PI on the defender. Didn't turn around with enough time left. But great catch there by Smoot. It's going to be declined every time because in high school and college it's not a spot of foul. It's more of a, I think it's a 10-yard penalty. So, again, obviously you're going to decline it because now you're on the opponent's 15 compared to being on their own 40.
So it's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the Pirates. They take over on the 15, hand it off to Johnson. He will be stopped at the line, spins through one defender, but then is twisted down, had nowhere to go there. Jacob White Hustler with the tackle for a 1-yard loss.
That was a great play there by White Hustler to come up in relief, but also great play there by Gabe Wheaton to make initial contact, stopped him in the hole. Jordan kept his feet driving, though. Hats off to him because he didn't go down right there. He kept moving. Just Whitehair was there to take him down before he could make anything else happen.
2nd and 11 for the Pirates. Hill will be in the shotgun. Johnson to his right. 3 receivers to the right side as well. Bulls the lone receiver to the right side. They'll put the running back, Johnson, in motion to the right, then go with a delayed screen looking for the tight end, Lewis, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, Lake Central was showing blitz the whole way. Looked like one of the linebackers went to blitz and then actually dropped back because he caught that it was going to be a screen pass. He just didn't know where. Didn't see really the running back running to the outside. Defense was able to get a hand up and really disrupt Hill there.
So now 3rd and 11. Pirates looking to pass. Hill with the pump fake. Shrugs off one defender, throws one down to Bulls, who will go up and get it before being wrestled down at the 5.
Yeah, that was Whitehair again making that was Mansfield there, I think, or White Hustler. It was White Hustler that made the play there, made the stop. So got to be careful. You're still playing soft coverage. You're bringing blitz. You've really got to bring pressure, run more of a pressure man coverage there. If you're going to bring blitz, you got to make sure that your guys are going to be able to cover these wide receivers and prevent them from getting these easy, quick catches.
On 4th down, they'll go with the pop pass to Jordan. He shakes past one defender and then will step into the end zone. Cameron Jordan with the touchdown on 4th down.
Yeah, and that's technically 3 touchdowns now for Hill today because it was a pop pass. So, Hill's able to get his 3rd touchdown of the night. And, I mean, this is just a Merrillville offense. We've talked about it. Really great offense. Offense coordinator's done a really good job of calling this game, fighting against the blitz that Lake Central's been bringing a lot of the times, as well as, playing against the cushion coverage they keep resorting to at times.
So Gonzalez awaiting the PAT, steps into his kick and sends it through the uprights. Makes it a 28-12 lead for the Pirates with 3:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. The kickoff will drop out of bounds near the 4, so that will add to the field position for the Indians.
No, I know the Indians head coach has to be happy with that. Now instead of starting at the 20, get to start at the 35. It's an extra 15 yards, makes this a shorter drive for them. As far as Lake Central's offense goes, do the same thing you did last drive. Do the quick passes. Do the quick play actions. Run the midline. Midline didn't work the one time because of blitz, but again, if you run the ball, let's say you run the ball, 1st and 2nd down, you get some yards, but they're blitzing, switch back to the play action. Switch back to the quick passes. Really get your playmakers out in space and give them a chance.
So Lake Central will start this drive on their own 35-yard line. 3:22 to play in the 3rd quarter. They trail 28-12. Reddick Hands it off to Turley. He will bobble through the defense, that was Reed getting towards the 42, so a good pickup on first down.
Yep, and play one, Merrillville blitzes, so keep an eye on that. If they keep blitzing, even when you switch to the passing game, I would start just, as I said, do the quick passes, get the ball out of your quarterback's hand quick, and just get the ball moving.
So a 7-yard pickup for Reed, and now the Indians will try to add to it. 2nd and 3 from their own 42. Pirates showing pressure on the right side. Reddick's going to keep it. Tries to drive through as Horton wraps him up and drags him down, but Reddick able to secure the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yep, and blitz number 2 there, Reddick does a good job of running between the tackles, shaking off at least one tackler before getting the first down. I think Lake Central probably runs the ball here again and then resorts to either a play action or they might do play action here. But I can foresee play action happening soon with the way they've been running the ball and the way Merrillville's been blitzing. Just make sure, like I said, it's not that long developing play action pass to where you're wanting your 5 guys to block 6 guys for 3-4 seconds.
They show motion. It'll be a keeper for Reddick, but the Pirates are able to get to him and take him down for a loss. He had nowhere to go as nearly the entire defensive line was joining him in the backfield.
Yeah, we haven't seen any screen passes out of this Indians offense, and it's one thing I'm waiting to see from them because, again, this is a defense that's getting a ton of pressure tonight. Even when they're not bringing, 5, 6 guys, they're bringing 4. They're still getting a ton of pressure on the quarterback as well as the run game. They've just been able to run very efficiently between the tackles and able to get yards out of it.
So now 3 receivers to the right. Reddick looking to pass, throws sidearm in and out of the hands of Mansfield. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was a good pass there. Wide receivers wide open. Got to be careful on that shorter pass. You don't want to throw necessarily a fastball there. I mean, you're 10 yards away from the receiver. If you're throwing the ball, and let's say, in theory, ball's going 30 miles per hour, I mean, that can make it a hard catch to make, especially when your receiver's just turning around. You want to make sure it's a softer throw. I get the urgency, though, because, again, as he's getting rid of the ball, defenders are in his face already. So you're trying to get rid of it fast, efficiently, and safely.
Pirates showing pressure. Reddick will roll right. There's a penalty marker on the field. Throws that one down towards his receiver. Bobbles it near the sideline. And we will find out what the result of that penalty was. It was intended for Verda.
I believe it's going to be a holding. It might very rarely be a hands to the face from a defender or offensive player. But if it's on the offense, expect to see it decline because it's going to make it 4th and 10. You still might see the Lake Central offense stay out there on 4th and 10 because you're down 3 scores, minute 10 left in the third quarter.
It is holding on the offense. It will be declined, so it brings up 4th down. And we will see Lake Central bring the punt team onto the field. TJ Olenkamp will look to drive this one down and try to pin the Merrillville offense in a spot where they'll have a long field to work with.
Yeah, last time the punt team trotted out there, they got a false start. So, I think, I know I said they had only had 3 offensive drives earlier. I believe they actually had 4. This is the 5th drive, so you're shooting about 33% on scoring touchdowns on every drive, which isn't a bad thing by any means, but
Olenkamp rolling to his right to boot this one high in the air. It will skip at the 25 and bounce out of play.
Looks like he was going to take off and run there for a second, doing the good old rugby punt there.
Right.
I mean, Merrillville dropped everyone in coverage, hoping for a big punt return there. It's just hard because your punter isn't always playing anything but punter, especially at the higher levels. Sometimes in high school you'll see a quarterback or a wide receiver punt the ball as well. I mean, I think if that's, let's say that's Reddick back there punting, I think he takes off there, seeing all that green grass in front of him. Be tempting. But also, punting is the right option there. You want to make sure you're pinning your opponent deeper in their territory.
So the Pirates take over on their own 25. They'll send motion to the left. Hand off to Johnson. He goes right. Trying to break forward. And will scoot towards the 30. As it picks up a handful of yards on first down.
Right back to the outside zone for this Merrillville Pirates offense. Again, they've been doing a really good job of just getting to the outside, and Jordan's done a good job of breaking a couple tackles and making some big plays.
3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Hill dropping back in the pocket. Scans his options downfield. And then sends one towards the sideline where Jordan is able to make the completion for the first down.
Nice little toe tapper there from Jordan. From our point of view, it looks like it would have been even good on Sundays. So, good job getting both feet in, making sure you're coming down with the ball. Again, this offensive line has done really great in pass protection when it's not a blitz situation. I believe Hill had almost 4 or 5 seconds there.
This is a Four Seasons Mechanical first down, and now Hill going through the air. Tosses one towards Jordan. He tries to grab it with the right hand, but it drops to the turf. He was leaning forward and trying to make the one-handed catch. Couldn't quite finish the job.
Yeah, that's one maybe see Hill take off and run. We've seen him run up with the ball a couple times on these passes. And just now, I decided to do a little counting because we keep saying he's had so much time in the rules of, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Right. He had 5.5 Mississippis there to throw the ball.
Wow, so the offensive line really helping him out. Aaron White, Jalen Carter, Jamal Cherry, Tremaine Hemingway, and Caden Osize. 15 seconds remain in the quarter. It's 2nd and 10 for the Pirates. Hill in the shotgun, hands it off to Johnson. He's going to have room up the middle, drives forward towards midfield. Will be stopped just shy of the first down, and that will likely do it for the third quarter. Merrillville leads 28-12. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowd Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowd Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Stay with us after the game when we'll name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as a union ironworker. 3rd and 2 for Michael Hill and the Merrillville offense. They're near the right hash mark. They'll put Jordan in motion to the left. It'll be a handoff to J.Q. Johnson. He reads his options, goes to about the 45 before tumbling over, as it takes a couple of Lake Central defenders to stop him. It's enough for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com.
Johnson's had a really good sense of presence of when a defensive lineman's in the backfield and is able to break off. And now you got Johnson wide open in the wheel.
And then Hill was thrown to the ground as he was facing pressure from Gabe Whedon. Had to throw it away. There was already a penalty marker on the field. It will be holding on the offense.
I was kind of shocked that they didn't try to get him for grounding because I don't think he was in the tackle box there, and there's no, even if he was, there is no receiver in the area of where he threw. But good job by Lake Central to get pressure there because if you looked on the left side, I mean, Johnson was wide open on a wheel route. You have both Johnson going on a wheel route, and then you also have Jordan that's almost in a flat route in the backfield. So 2 options there. They decided to stick with Jordan there.
So make it 1st and 19 for Merrillville with 11:32 to play in the fourth quarter. They'll be backed up to their own 46-yard line. Hill with both running backs in the backfield with him. They'll motion Jordan to the left. Swing pass to Johnson. He looks to take it and run, gets to the 50, and then tripped up out of bounds. So adds 4 yards through the air there.
Yeah, and that holding penalty becomes big here because now, even though Merrillville's done a good job on these long down and distance situations, it's 2nd and 15 right now. So, I mean, you're essentially making this Merrillville offense have to make 2-3 big plays in a row compared to just making one big play.
And then Hill's pass is deflected but spirals incomplete. So the incompletion makes it 3rd and 15.
I believe that was the defensive tackle that got a hand up and swatted the ball down, which great play by him. Yeah, I believe it was who's been playing shade tonight for them. I can't see the number exactly.
3rd and 15 for the Pirates. Hill dropping back to pass. Looking to avoid pressure, escapes the pocket, connects with Bowles downfield. Bowles will take it and run. Gets to the 30 where he's eventually brought out of bounds. Jason Mann with the tackle, but it's a long Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the Pirates.
It's one of the first times we've really called Bowles' name tonight outside of talking about potential trick play with him at half. You know, good job by him. He hasn't really had his moment yet this game. Had a huge reception there. Went from 2nd and 15 to first down now.
21 yards on the reception from Hill to Bowles. New set of downs for the Pirates. 2 running backs. Hand off to Cameron Jordan. He ranges to the left side of the line. Keeps going forward. Continuing to drive inside the 20 where he's brought down at the 15. So Jordan with a good pickup makes it a new set of downs for the Pirates and a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. So
yeah,
14-yard pickup.
Merrillville's getting tricky back to that 2-back look, running it a little bit more the second half than they did the first half.
First down, handoff to Jordan. He follows his blocker to the left side of the line, gets to the sideline where he's forced out. So it looks like he might have had enough yardage for the first down. We'll see where the spot is. That will be enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. So it's now 1st and goal for the Pirates.
Something that's not always appreciated, too, when you're doing that 2-back look. Johnson had to make a block there. Had a huge block on the cornerback there that was able to let Jordan really break off a couple more yards there. Would have been a short of the first down. Instead gets the first down. Now you're 1st and goal from the 4. I mean, that's a block you don't always hear or see about.
On 1st and goal, Hill will fire it to the back of the end zone. It'll go incomplete. So he's looking for Walker, but unable to thread the needle. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Walker had a step on his man covering him right there. Looked like he was going to be able to have an easy touchdown there. Hill got a little rush there. Just wanted to get rid of the ball. You know, make sure that you get rid of it to where a defense can't make a play, but also you're not putting your guy in danger.
So 10 minutes to go. It's a handoff to Jordan. He will take it to the end zone. So Cameron Jordan with his 2nd touchdown of the 3rd quarter will make it a 34-12 lead for the Pirates. Or 2nd touchdown of the second half, pardon me.
Yeah, and that's 3 guys with 2 touchdowns on the night, I believe, if I'm not wrong. I think Johnson has either he's got 1.
Johnson has 2. Jordan now has 2. And we saw Lewis with 1.
And then Hill's got 3 passing, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That would also be correct.
So, yeah, you've got both your starting running backs, essentially, 2 touchdowns, and you've got your quarterback with 3 passing touchdowns. Definitely makes for some success.
And the extra point is good from Gonzalez, making it a 35-12 lead for the Pirates. 9:55 remaining in the 4th quarter. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. It will skip into the end zone for a touchback. So with Merrillville leading 35-12 with 9:55 remaining in the fourth quarter, Cameron Reddick will bring his troops onto the field, and they have some work to do to try to cut into this deficit.
Yeah, you're looking at a four touchdown deficit right now. I mean, it's a pretty sizable deficit to try to come back from. However, crazier things have happened in high school football, but with 9 minutes and 55 seconds left in this run-heavy offense that's done good about draining the clock, it's not looking too good for them, unfortunately, but we could also be surprised. They could come back in this passing attack they started the first drive of this half with and drive down the field quickly as they did.
So Reddick in the shotgun, two receivers to either side. Takes the snap. He's running out of time as Q-Ron Moore will get to him and help bring him down. Moore also with some help from Natwan Gills for the sack.
Yeah, this Merrillville defense has done a good job of not allowing Reddick to get comfortable in the pocket. You know, he's had a lot of times he's maybe had a second and a half to throw the ball, and part of that's from just a blitz-happy defense in Merrillville. But it's just one of those things, unfortunately. It hasn't been in the cards tonight. Really need to go to the chalkboard, look at screen passes, quick passes with this blitz that's been hitting them from Merrillville.
They send Mansfield in motion to the right. Reddick has to try to send the screen pass over a charging defensive lineman, and it will drop incomplete, bringing up 3rd and long for the Indians.
Yeah, that's the first screen pass they've thrown in it. I'm not a fan of the midfield screen pass because now you're trying to throw over defensive linemen, essentially. If you're going to do a halfback screen, do it to the side. If you're going to do a wide receiver screen, honestly, in high school, I like the jailbreak screen a lot if you're going to do a wide receiver screen. We ran a couple of those when I was in high school. Even though we were a run-heavy offense, we called them tunnel screens. You'd have 4 linemen out there running, a wide receiver running right behind them.
So 3rd and 13 from the 17. Reddick in the pocket. It's collapsing on him. He swims past the defensive lineman, and now he has some room to run. Gets to the 25 and continues to roll forward. So makes something out of nothing there as the Pirates rushed 4, but then Ellis stops him after a lengthy pickup to set up 4th and short. And it looks like we will see the Indians keep the offense on the field as they're in 4-down territory, and that's presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to go for it on 4th down. You don't really have the opportunity to punt it away when you're down 4 scores. At this, you just want to carry some momentum into next week.
With 8.5 minutes remaining, they will hand it off up the middle to Turley. And he will have enough for the first down, the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. So new set of downs for the Indians. They get to their own 30. So have 8 minutes, 27 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter.
Looked like he was short from up here, but, you know, refs already moved the chains. We don't have instant replay or, you know, a review scheme in high school football by any means, so no way to review it. Not sure Merrillville's coaches are happy with that, but
3rd down, play action pass intended for Verda, but it will fall incomplete.
Looked like some miscommunication between Verda and Reddick there. Verda was running more of a streak towards the numbers while Reddick was trying to lead him out of bounds there. It looked like he was thinking that he was going to cut it back out with it being essentially triple coverage because you had a safety dropping back, had a guy on man coverage on him, and then you had another DB that was already there in a zone.
So the incompletion brings up 2nd down. And now the Indians will get the play call, move to the line. Tight formation here. Low snap, Reddick dropping back. Fires one, connects with Verda, and he will look to dance forward close to midfield. but it's a good pickup for a Four Seasons Mechanical. First down moves them to the 47.
Yeah, Verta did a really good job of sitting in the zone there. He didn't try, again, not trying to make a bigger play out of it, just running his assignment, sitting there, letting the ball come to him, and good job by Reddick getting the ball there in an efficient manner and a fast manner.
Reddick again looking to pass. Throws sidearm to Issa, who is then dropped by Edwards. And it looks like there will be a penalty on that play, too, as now Issa is down after the contact.
I think they're going to get him for targeting it.
And another penalty was just
that one's going to be on the offense, I think. I saw one of the offensive linemen throw his hands up.
And another
one. There's some, I guarantee there's some words going between these two teams right now.
So now the officials will try to calm things down as both teams will be ushered back to their sidelines. 7:42 remaining as the injured player will be attended to. It seemed to be enough for a first down pickup, but now we'll see after the penalties where things end up being placed.
I think the penalties are going to be offsetting, and they're all after the whistle, so it's not going to affect anything as far as a replay of downs. It's just going to be the down existed. But I mean, it's kind of messy because you got to be careful. If too many guys are getting unsportsmanlike with 7.5 minutes left, you get another one before the game's over, you're getting booted not only from this game, but I believe the first half of the next game as well.
So that could make things complicated. The Indians will have Valparaiso next week to round out the regular season. As Pete Koulianos talks things over with the referee, and we'll find out just what the penalties are for. So that first penalty will be on Edwards. So unsportsmanlike to either side, those will offset. So now the things will be set up for the Indians, and it will be a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. And they'll be able to take over at the 30 of Merrillville. We'll look to try to complete this drive with points.
Yeah, just try to end this drive on a good note.
Reddick rolling to his right in the pocket, and then in and out of the hands of his receiver. He was looking for Gomez, and he couldn't quite complete the catch.
Yeah, that was a good job by Reddick there, too. I know earlier he had a couple balls that weren't necessarily errant, but he was throwing it a little bit harder than need be. It felt like that one was a pretty soft throw. And, able to give the wide receiver a chance, just unfortunately wasn't able to come down with it in and out of his hands.
So the incompletion makes it 2nd and 10 from the 30. Reddick with Reed to his left. Play action, they'll throw it to Green, who will break forward towards the 25. Brought down on the play by Edwards.
And that's a little bit of a jailbreak screen right there, It's a play action, of course, but also right away you see offensive linemen sprinting to the edge trying to go out there and get a DB. Nothing as an offensive lineman feels better when they let you go out and try to block a DB who's usually super small compared to you.
So now on 3rd down, they will fire it to Reed, and he tries to fight for every extra yard, getting to the 21 before he's halted by the Pirates.
It looks like Reed is down after that tackle.
And so there will be a timeout for the injury with 6:44 remaining in the 4th quarter. We will step aside. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
So now it'll be 4th and 1 for the Indians. They've entered 4-down territory presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. And they have an extra player on the field as they're sorting things out. Now things will get started. Oh, boy.
I don't think it was an extra player. I think that the running back that got hurt tried to go back out there right away. Because they were forcing him off the field.
Yeah, because then they had to bring another player back out there, and so that will force the Indians to have to take a timeout with 6:30 remaining in the fourth quarter.
On the bright side, they'll be able to send out their running back again now that they take a timeout.
Be sure to stay connected with all things Region Sports by supporting and following us on social media. We're always active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and online at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we're proud to still be the only game in town. Next week, the Pirates will finish up the season with a home game against Chesterton, so they'll be back at Demery Stadium, while the Indians will be on the road at Valparaiso for a big conference battle there. So Selection Saturday coming up this weekend as we will start to find out what the playoff picture will look like here in the Duneland. Both teams trying to get the update on those sectional assignments, and you still have to take care of Week 9, but you start to figure out what the road to Indianapolis could look like. 6.5 minutes remaining. Reddick will be in the shotgun. They'll put a receiver in motion from right to left. Low snap, and it's actually a direct snap to Ramirez, who powers forward, and that was Reddick. The keeper picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. So Stanley Freeman makes the stop. The Indians will get a new set of downs inside the 20. Reddick dropping back to pass. Was hit as he threw. Fires one towards Verda in the end zone, and there will be pass interference on that one.
Yeah, there was a little grabbing before the ball got there, and, here's the big thing. As I said earlier, it's not a spot foul in high school and college. One of the things one of my DB coaches used to say in high school, sometimes it's better to get the pass interference than allow a touchdown. At least you get to fight another play.
Yeah.
You let the touchdown happen, drive's over. So it's just an unfortunate place to have it, though, because now you go from having them at 2nd and 10 with a incredible pass breakup to it's going to be probably first and goal from the 7, it looks like, or the 8. Did he say pass interference or face mask?
I believe he said face mask.
I didn't see a face mask there necessarily, but
so first down. Reddick trying to pass, the pocket's collapsing around him, and then he falls down to one knee and throws it away. Had Q-Ron Moore just steps away from him as he had to just fire that one incomplete.
Yeah, he did a good job of just getting rid of the ball, not necessarily trying to force a play in the end zone. You get to live to see it another down right now, so 6 minutes left in this game. I can imagine if Merrillville gets the ball back, they're just going to bleed the clock out and end the game. They're not going to try to score fast or quick or anything like that.
2nd and a yard to go from the 8. Reddick hands it off to Turley, who leans forward and tumbles into the end zone for a touchdown.
That was an example, again, of this Lake Central offensive line. When it comes to the interior run game, they have done a terrific job of opening holes and allowing the running backs and also Reddick to really be able to decide where they want to go, where they want to run. So hats off to this offensive line. They've been, like I said, attacking the run game well. Pass game just unfortunately hasn't been there. It seems like Merrillville's been able to blitz at the correct time every time they're deciding to throw the ball.
So now they'll go for two, send motion to the right. Reddick fires through the back of the end zone, incomplete, looking for Verda. So the incompletion on the two-point conversion means it will remain 35-18. 6:03 left to play here at Lake Central. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Calling all current and future homeowners in the Northwest Indiana area. Whether you're buying or selling, Brent Wright is here to make your real estate journey smooth and successful. With years of experience, personalized service, and a deep knowledge of the market, Brent will help you find the perfect place or get the best deal for your property. Call today at 219-406-7195 and take the first step towards your real estate goals. Contact Brent Wright, the right way to buy and sell real estate.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Onside kick time for Olenkamp and the Indians as they will throw the Merrillville defender into the sideline as he was trying to brace for impact there.
Yeah, definitely brace for impact. You know, you don't want to cough the ball up as you're getting hit there. I mean, I pity the kick return team, man. Especially at the high school, college level. I always joked with my buddy that was on kick return. I asked him one time, I was like, man, it must suck to be on kick return. He goes, I would rather be on kickoff every time because he goes, I get at least a 10-yard head start running.
Yeah.
If you're on kick return, you're just praying that you're waiting. You see a guy running at you full speed 10 yards away, and you're just like, uh-oh.
So that was Smoot who had to brace for that impact there. 6 minutes to go. The Pirates will take over on their own 44-yard line near the left hash mark. Three receivers out wide to the right. Hill on play action. Sends one deep downfield, and it is incomplete. Jordan tried to catch that one near the chest. He was well covered on the play by, I believe that was Lynn, with a nice pressure there. So the incompletion makes it second down for the Pirates.
This Pirates offense has honestly left a lot of points on the field. They've had three big, wide open passes for a touchdown just dropped or overthrown. So, I mean, that's 18 points right there just missing from the board. But also it's hats off to Lake Central for the coverage on two of those pass breakups. They're making sure to stay tight and not letting them necessarily get away with a huge play.
Hill, again, going through the air. This time he will find Lewis, and Lewis will walk the tightrope down the sideline before he's upended, but had enough yards for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, when you're a DB and a tight end's running at you right there full speed, sometimes it's better to just brace for impact, as we saw Smoot do on the kickoff return, but instead of bracing for impact and holding on to the ball, kind of just go for a lower tackle trying to bring them down.
5.5 minutes remaining. Again, the Pirates are going to pass. Hill fires one deep downfield towards Bogart, and he makes the catch, stopped at the 5. So a long pitch and catch between Michael Hill and Dermont Bogart, and it's good for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
I'm shocked that they're throwing the ball right now. I mean, you've got 5 minutes left in the game. You're up 3 scores. Not really a need to throw the ball like they are, but, again, it's working. I mean, might as well just keep doing it.
So here we go, first and goal from the 4. Hill and Johnson in the backfield. They put Jordan in motion. Hill's going to keep it. He's got room along the left side. He'll turn the corner and scamper into the end zone. So Michael Hill, after a few touchdowns through the air, picks up one on the ground and brings the Pirates to 41 points.
Is that his third or fourth touchdown of the game with passing?
Let's see. I'll do some quick counting on air. He had 2 passing touchdowns in the first half, 2 passing touchdowns in the second half, and now a rushing touchdown. So,
he's at 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That is an incredible game he's putting out. Definitely going for player of the game with his 5th touchdown of the game, 5 minutes left.
So Gonzalez's PAT is good, bringing the score to 42-18. Pirates with the lead. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. The kick skips through the end zone for a touchback, bringing Cameron Reddick and the rest of the Lake Central offense back onto the field.
Yeah, and this is an offense, they first drive of the second half, efficient, moved the ball, was able to get a touchdown in the quickest they've moved the ball the whole night. Ever since then, it's just been, unfortunately, some miscues. Seems like they're one big play away or one play away from really turning things around. But with 5 minutes left and it being basically a 4-score game at this point, try to score, try to get some momentum going into the next week and get ready for next week's game.
It's 5:22 remaining. They'll go with a handoff, and the Pirates are able to get to that one near the line, so no gain on the play for Mansfield.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, too, Merrillville, you still want to carry momentum in. Don't necessarily want them to score an easy touchdown. You want to make sure that you can hold them to the 18 points. You've had a defense that hasn't allowed a ton of points this season outside of a couple matchups. I believe there's only been 2 or 3 teams this season that have put or scored more than 20 points on this defense.
So now new 2nd and 11 for the Indians. Reddick scanning things before the line, goes play action, heaves it to the left, and it'll pop incomplete. Reddick was looking to the left side of the line where then Edwards forced the pass breakup and complete, making it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, as I'm looking at their schedule, they've only allowed 20 points 3 times, so they're trying to make it only 3 times on the season and maybe even move into next week and 3 times in 9 games. I mean, that's incredible while you're putting up 40, 30 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of talk will be made about the offense from Merrillville, but their defense has really been great all season long, and that's what's helped them as they will again get to the ball carrier. They will stop Watson for a loss. So bringing up 3rd and a ways to go, or 4th and a ways to go, and they will bring the punt team onto the field.
I'm a little shocked they're punting it, but in the same breath, I mean, there's not really much to gain for going for it at this point. If you go for it, you give Merrillville an opportunity to probably score another touchdown and essentially start a running clock almost at that point, I believe. It'd be very close to it, not right at it yet, but...
So Ohlenkamp getting ready to try to drive this one downfield as both teams are trying to get the correct personnel onto the field. Walker to return, and the snap goes wide of Ohlenkamp, and then he just has to send a short roller downfield. So not exactly what the Indians were hoping for as the snap. Ohlenkamp had to pick it up, had a defender right in his face and just sent a line drive downfield. It rolls. There was some shoving going on. We have at least one penalty marker on the field. So a lot to sort out here following that.
I have a feeling this one might be on the punt team. It looked like there was a player getting shoved to the ground unexpectedly out of nowhere.
So 3 minutes, 33 seconds remain in the fourth quarter.
Holding on the defense, you're going to get an extra 10 yards added on to the punt. Honestly, for what that punt was, I mean, that's incredible.
That's better than they were expecting. As Olenkamp, cool under pressure, boots it downfield 39 yards, and then an extra 10 yards via the penalty.
Man, I wish I could get that much front spin on a golf ball when I hit it. I mean, that's incredible.
How about it? Well, they will take over at their own 49. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like we're going to see Darnell Bowles at quarterback. I think this is more of what we were expecting on that last drive. The Pirates likely just running things down.
Yeah, if I'm the Merrillville coaching staff, even if your player has an opportunity to score, like sit them down and be like, hey, let's just run this clock out. Let's get home.
Get out of here, keep everybody healthy.
Yeah, because, playoffs are right around the corner. You don't want to go into playoffs and a key player be hurt out of nowhere. Because, they're keeping Jordan in the game right now. Or no, it's not Jordan. That is
It'll be a handoff to the backup running back, who was conveniently not on the roster. That was Boyd with the carry.
I was going to say, I don't see a 31 on the roster.
So we're going off what the P announcer provided. That was Boyd, so he picks up 7 yards, and so time will run close to 3 minutes, and this is where the hurry-up offense might hurry up a little less as it goes to Boyd again, and they battle towards the left side of the line near the first down marker, just shy of the first down.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds on the play clock. If you're Merrillville's offense right now, run it down to 1 second. You're going to knock it down to basically under 2 minutes after this play. If you get the first down, clock will stop for maybe 5 seconds. Oh, they changed it to a 25-second play clock. But either way, you're still going to be looking at close to under 2 minutes after this play.
And the snap gets away from Bowles. He recovers, though, and now we'll try to run it downfield. He will get close to the 45, so Bowles, making the most out of that broken play, will actually get enough yards for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yep, and the good news for Merrillville, he didn't go out of bounds, so it's going to start the clock again. So here we go. After, again, you're looking at 2:10 left in the game, 1st and 10. Again, just run the ball maybe 2-3 more times, get maybe one more first down and just kneel it out, call it a night, head home with the win. And, the bright side is no player hurt too. No big players hurt. I don't know if Merrillville had any injuries throughout the game or, sometimes soft tissue stuff. But, again, both teams seem to be leaving this relatively healthy, able to get ready for playoffs. I'd say after this play they're going to kneel, especially if they get the first down. Because, there's a minute and a half left, 24 seconds on the play clock. It's going to be under a minute. Kneel it once, maybe twice.
So Bowles hands it off to Boyd. He will go towards the midfield logos. Next challenge on the schedule for Merrillville will be a home contest against Chesterton. Lake Central will head to the road to play Valparaiso next week. There's a loss of 2. It brings up 3rd and 3. And just over a minute left to go, so start to turn your attention towards that game. We'll see how the Indians bounce back. Be another busy week for us at the Region Sports Network as we bring you plenty of coverage for Week 9.
This might be the last play of the game with it being, it's going to be under 40 seconds at this point. Play clock's not going to start again. Yeah, that's going to be the ball game right there. 37 seconds left on the clock when they stop it. You still got a 40-second play clock. I think they're just going to have them go to the sidelines, call it a day. They may have it actually play out because the play clock started, or was at 36 seconds when the game clock started. So they're going to make them kneel the ball at least once or run one more play.
Bowles brings his team back to the line, just trying to go through the formalities here. 9 seconds remaining. He will step back, take an E, and that will just about do it. Merrillville defeats Lake Central 42-18. The Pirates will improve to 6-2 on the year, while the Indians fall to 2-6. We will put a bow on this one, hand out some post-game hardware. So stick around for that. One more segment coming up next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Strachan Van Til, we believe grocery shopping should be simple. Now, shopping is easier than ever with our new and improved website. Find what you need fast. Browse your favorite products, add them to your cart, and check out in just a few quick steps. Choose between convenient in-store pickup or let us handle the heavy lifting. From our shelves to your doorstep, skip the lines, shop your way, and spend more time on what matters most. With our rewards program, enjoy incredible savings and personalized offers every time you shop. Shop online now at strachanvantil.com or download our app today.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
So Merrillville defeats Lake Central 42-18. We'll hand out some of the post-game awards. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 o'clock in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was...
Definitely got to give it over to Michael Hill, quarterback for Merrillville tonight. Had 4 total touchdowns, 1 rushing, 3 passing. I mean, he had a tremendous game, showed why he's one of the top passers in the region tonight. Made some really great passes. Missed on a couple deep balls that, honestly, he was close to having 7-8 touchdowns tonight. So, I mean, again, just a tremendous game from him. Pressure came. He was always able to get the ball out. Didn't take any bad sacks. Didn't take really any sacks. And, you know, a big part of that and, you know, a big part of him getting that player of the game was also got to give him credit to the offensive line, giving him that time to make these plays.
Now let's name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
And I think we can both agree on this one, Leo. It's going to Cameron Reddick. I mean, he did everything he could on that Lake Central offense. He ran the ball, threw the ball, almost caught a 2-point conversion. I mean, he was a big part of why that offense was able to sustain those long drives and having some great runs, as well as having some great reads when they did move to the read option as well.
So now let's name the Proud to be Union play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game was
Going to give it to the Frankie Verta catch in the third quarter. It was on that first offensive drive, and great pass by Reddick, but it was a little bit behind him. And I mean, Verta went up there, made an incredible catch over the DB, contested, fought with the DB for the ball. I mean, again, this was a game where, most of the times when you see this Merrillville offense, they're going to have 2-3 plays be candidates for play of the game. And it's one of those things. That's where you got to give credit where credit's due to this Lake Central defense. They didn't allow the big play, kept the offense in the game for the most part, tried to do everything they could to stop the Merrillville offense. But, again, they've got a lot of talent over there. They were able to make the right play calls at times, and just, unfortunately, Lake Central wasn't able to get a stop every time.
That was tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. Thank you to everyone involved with tonight's broadcast, to our management team at Region Sports, Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Heather Ames, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan. To my broadcast partner, Chris Figg. To our producer, Mike Dewan, doing an outstanding job of keeping us on the air all night long. To Martin Murillo, capturing all the action through tonight's game. To the coaches of each side, Brad Cease from Merrillville and Pete Koulianos of Lake Central. To the athletic directors, Merrillville's Amy Beckham and Lake Central's Chris Enyart. And to the viewers at Facebook/Region Sports Nation, YouTube/Region Sports, regionsports.com, and the IHSAA Champions Network. This is Leo Stauder thanking you for watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.